right. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate every one of you. We're back here again. Before we start talking, let me play that video that because my staff actually uploaded it earlier on. Let me just play it here so that we maybe some people that have not seen it can have one or two things to talk about it as well. You know, I appreciate you all. So here you go. This is the video. I'm gonna post out a link again. Don't worry. Okay, let me post out a link before we even do this because I can see okay, Mama A show is gone. Okay, Mama A show is here. Okay, you went on the backstage. Why? How did that even happen? Okay, let me post out a link again, guys, in case you want to join the panel. For those of you that lives in America, you know, click. That is the link. Click on it to join us. I think we have about 30 spots left, I guess. You know, the link have been posted. Click on that. So let me play the video. This is the video that Nigeria was talking about. Here you go.
I was looking at the time and said, you are not likely to.
No, I left the airport. I said I must come here. I said there's no way I will not come here. Hello.
The least you go is to
No, we're talking.
But what I'm saying is that the people who are stoppers, apart from the I think they want to
Yeah, but it's got my phone.
This is 1994. Let me to be
What's the name?
Thank you so much. I just said I must come and say happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you. And I was happy that I came.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to take it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Why not?
Am I helping?
Please help me. I need to. Why? Have I to help everybody? I want to take that.
I'm sorry. Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Don't worry, I will gladly take everybody.
I came with this on Sunday. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
I just said I must come and say happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I was happy that I came.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to take it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Why not?
Am I helping?
Please help me. I need to. Why? Have I to help everybody? I want to take that.
I'm sorry. Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Don't worry, I will gladly take everybody.
I came with this on Sunday. I thought I'm going to I'm running to the airport. Can you just take a picture? Take one. But you want to stay in the middle? The man celebrating. So we just stay.
Thank you.
You are doing too many. So you have to take it.
Personal.
Don't worry. My brother. How's everything, man?
Thank you. Join us. Bros Dele.
Bros Dele. Emma Boy. Bros Dele.
Bros
The elders. Let me capture. Bros Dele. Emma Boy.
Is Bros Dele the real
Bros Dele, yeah.
Bros Dele.
Photographer.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'll just stay here. You can move back. I'm not going to happen there.
Wow. Thank you. Please come and sit down for at least a few. You are running. Okay, let's just take our own picture in the garden, please. We just. Okay. Just take me.
I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I don't hide it. Any day, anytime. I even confronted APC. If you want it, why did you bring your structure? Let's have the place working for everybody. So that we have people who want to work for the country and are healthy and good. The person we brought out today is not as if we cannot do the 20 years ago maybe. Not today. Because the country needs somewhere like in 24 hours working. You know, the country is difficult. He knows my
Age is on the side.
He knows my
It will be about 64 next election. Thank you so much.
But I'm doing it from the back.
We run back to the airport to fly back to this. We came together on Sunday. So I went to Nice for meeting this morning. Came back and said I must come and stay. So I'm happy to meet this wonderful Nigerian. These wonderful Nigerians. This is what we're asking them to make the place, but can't you see how people are enjoying it? This is what we are begging that we enjoy in Nigeria. Have scenes like this and everything. Rather than have a situation where the pastor make una dey pray well well. You know me, I say to anybody who cares to know, he knows my stand. I am not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I don't hide it. Any day, anytime. I even confronted APC. If you want it, why?
64 next election.
Yeah. We want the other ones. We need the other ones. We are moving to the age of artificial intelligence. And our country is still being run by people who can't even use normal computer today. They cannot go up, bro. So we wish the country all the best. Thank you. Prayers is very important. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening. All the best. Have the same place for all.
Wait. Let's sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Bobby. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Hooray! God bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Bobby. May the good Lord bless you. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us.
Praise him.
Yeah.
This is a special toast, so somebody will have a lot of respect for. As he celebrates his 63rd birthday, we pray that he's going to grow from victory to victory. He's going to grow from mercy to mercy. And goodness shall follow him all the days of his life. And we pray that all aspects of his life shall be like the capital of Ireland, always doubling. Congratulations.
Where are the other cake?
Because no wonder we grew up, new and improved.
Where is the
Look, my phone is here. Okay, because he has to go to the airport. Okay. Let's just.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Ladies did not take it. Ladies didn't take again.
It's okay. It's all right.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. But meanwhile, before we start, if you see the cars in this compound, right, both the one outside, the one in the compound, each of those cars are extremely expensive. Then you look at the house. You see, I'm not against anybody, but I have to tell you the fact that you see what our politicians are doing to us. Even Mr. Peter will be telling Dele Momodu that, why can't you have this kind of house in Nigeria rather than here?
Exactly.
This is something else.
These people.
This guy, there's a guy.
I was with him on the panel. Just let me say this. I was with him on the panel once, and I was asking him about our security posture. He was waffling, and I just said he was just lying. And because of the way he was just talking, I just left. I didn't even know that he owned these properties. Why would this man ever want to do anything good for Nigeria when he's living like this overseas?
It's not possible. It's not possible.
Mr. Elvis, that man, 1 second, please. Mr. Black Man, there be Black Panther, please be cool. I was already speaking. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
What's his name? There's a guy there, the young guy. Well, seemingly rather.
Are you talking about Pastor Toby?
That pastor that was accused of defrauding.
Yes.
Yeah, was he not the one accused of? You see how these people are surrounded by fraudsters?
He's the one that came with the Ferrari and the Rolls Royce. What's it called? Pararan or something.
Okay, me, I don't even know I don't know cars anyway, but they all look flashy. Okay. Now tell me why
$500,000 car one.
Can you imagine? Okay, now tell me, when did they talk about stealing money from the government? Is it not? Are those people not the people they used to use the money to pass inside their account so that they can buy you? See the house when this man gets for London. Why he go want make Nigeria work? Why? Because they want to be able to go back home and be showing off and oppressing people. Meanwhile, back home, there's no electricity. Everything is not working in the country. Is that not a shame? And then people want us to fold our hands, while these same criminals that have been doing these things since, they will now come and put their leader on top of their heads and now finally divide the country and sell it to the highest bidder.
And at the end of the day, if I have to add to you, Amoyeskona, is that these same people, when they have issue, they are sick, they fly abroad and take medical care. And the people that is fighting for them are in Nigeria. They cannot board the flights. How will it end for you? Look at his mansion. And not be only one get to.
It's up to us, Nigerians. It's up to us. If we see all these things and go still keep quiet. It's up to us, because the truth is that nobody is coming to me. Don't they talk this one since no external. Now we go fight this thing by ourselves. These people don't care. When the man see belle, the man don't chop belle for you. You say they think about you, they think about the common man. Now I want to join those properties when you get. I want to buy the latest car. See all the cars when they I don't know anything about cars, but they all look flashy, all of them. It's very disturbing.
You know, ordinary birthday. Now they go do for their birthday where you go do inside your room.
Okay, look, Pastor. Now I carry Ferrari come there now. Pastor carry Ferrari. What the pastor they do with Ferrari? Tell me, if that not be corruption,
that
lost to
let
the
me
things
tell
of
you,
the world.
in case you don't know, Mr. Victor, that pastor, the cars with they compound worth more than 10 million pounds. Cars, not be house, cars.
You see, tomorrow
it took people to remind them that this is you are enjoying here, you can enjoy it in Nigeria. That's what you need to be doing, not to be doing it in foreign land. These people, they don't have shame at all. It took Peter Obi to remind them, this thing you are doing here, why are you not doing it in your country? It's just this. I just don't understand how these people can just live like this, continuously doing this.
The reason why these people created insecurity and they are scared of the same insecurity they created. That's why they cannot enjoy it in Nigeria. So they have to go abroad and enjoy it freely. Not see the way that they outside just now. No talks, no agberus, nobody, they say pure water, nothing. And they like that. And they can create, they have the opportunity to create this kind of beautiful environment for us. But they selfishly and satanically refuse to do it.
And it's an illusion if they think that they have security there. Security is just a cage. They are doing a job for the people that are housing them there. I think those people don't know that they are there. They know fully well that they are there. They're just using them. You just come and do our bidding. When the time comes, they will be reckoning. Watch history. Anytime when these people are ready again, they will come for us. And maybe it's already too late. All this what we are saying is maybe already too late. Because the trends, from what Black Panther said before, the trends around the world is that people are coming to Africa again. It may be already too late. Look at our country. They've hemorrhaged all our best minds from Nigeria. I'm telling you, 5 years ago when I landed in Nigeria to do work in Nigeria, we had brains. Things were moving forward. Now, I know people, more than 3 engineers have left Nigeria to go and work for the West. And the ones in Nigeria, their minds are divided. They are working for the West. So all the businesses in Nigeria are struggling to compete with the West with all the money that they have. All those trillions they gave themselves in loan, the consequences are beginning to flow through now. And these leaders are just absent-minded. It's only Peter Obi that just whispers it to them. Because he cannot make it too loud, otherwise they will probably stop him from traveling there too. He had to remind them that, why can't you do this thing in your own house? You think these people are going to... This is the future. There's no future here. History suggests that there is no future here. It's going to be our doom if we carry on like this.
I've already said it. It's up to us. It is up. We have to use our own hand now.
The question I used to ask myself is that ordinary birthday, somebody take it to white man land. Why can't they come here? Them no feel they come Nigeria, can't they do all those things? It shows that our politicians are shameless.
Don't interject you.
No, before
somebody carry wedding.
Before you interject, sir, I will support what my sister just said now. If we fold our arms, hoping say one day God go do am, God already do am, tele. Now we know activate them. The power is already with us. Trust me, these people will live like this forever. They will die. Their children will continue from where they stop. You and I will still be here talking without no action. For me, if Peter Obi cannot become a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by the tricks these people are displaying right now, then let them divide Nigeria. That's it. Thank you.
Somebody was saying something about they go do birthday for wherever, London. Somebody did a birthday in Dubai. The money is spent in doing the birthday, marriage. The money is spent in doing that marriage in Dubai was 5 times the money is spent in doing the second marriage in Nigeria. So all these things is a multiplication of how the founding fathers, how they prepared the foundation for us to lay on. That is to tell you that the foundation that was created all over Africa was never an African foundation. It was a foundation created by the so-called invaders that invaded the land. Instead of our fathers to reiterate back and start enlightening the youth, because these things got to start in the school. You cannot expect somebody that is over 30 or 25 years old to get this thing, this word right. It has history got to go back to school, and people will start teaching how an African man got to live and how an African man is. Until we get that into the generation, they will keep on taking the knowledge and the corrupt portion of Europe, the Western world, and they will start practicing it in an African setting that will never and never work. And thereby our culture will be eroded. Just wait until the culture erode finally. I'll see what we will say then. Thank you.
It's already completely eroded. And that being said, everything that you just made mention of is not going to happen unless we take it back. It's as simple as that. Everything you just said now is just going to be English. Until we get that country back from the hands of these corrupt, greedy, morally bankrupt people, we are going nowhere. We will sit here and come and chat and talk and debate till their kingdom come. These people have to hear it from the citizens. A few hundred people are not more than over 100 million people or 200 million people. We already, Mr. Elvis has said, we already have it. We have everything that it takes. We have everything that it takes. It's time for us to activate it. Are we just going to watch? These people are bringing a demonic man, fraud own, the biggest con man of all that we know, and we don't even know if he's Nigerian, and we are folding our hands. Are we going to let it happen? That's the question I keep asking, because as it is looking like right now, I expect that people will start shutting down everywhere in Nigeria right now, because the way they are doing this boju for court, today adjourn, tomorrow adjourn, we are literally, time is ticking and we only have 7 days left. No jokes, 7 days left. If nothing is done, forget Nigeria forever. They will divide it up if they have not already. All they are waiting for now is for the man to enter and the contract to be activated. You just see foreigners moving into different parts of the country in Nigeria. You just see them taking over industries, owning land, because they've paid huge sums so that they can buy more houses and live large like they are living. And we're going to fold our hand. It's time to act. Time to talk. It's all over right now. Because these people don't care. Their hearts are seared. They don't feel. There's no empathy. They do not care. All the shouting, we don't shout. Have you seen them? Since they started this court, have you ever seen the man that is the front runner, that is the one guilty? Have you seen him in court? That's to tell you that your system is already completely broken without repair. The constitution is dead to them. If a man, one single man, just because he has paper money, has held it over everybody, the judges are corrupt, from the judges to the army, to every corner. We cannot fold our hands. That much I know. Everywhere needs to be shutting down right now. Let everything that needs to break apart completely.
I think that this Labour Party has a lot of power right now already than most people realize. I said it before. Labour Party is not an ordinary party. They are
All right.
linked to
Please
so they
hold
have
on, guys. To Nigeria, please hold on. Let me. We have Mr. Pansat on the screen. Mr. Pansat, good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good evening,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's
On the
good to
panel.
have you on the panel. Before you continue, Mr. Pansat, I just want to let you know that I apologize to you for whatever I've done in the past. I know you've moved on, but like I've always said, you are an elderly man. I see you as a father. So sometimes we get heated here, and argument starts, but the ability to manage our anger and move on so that we can have a better Nigeria is what matters. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Obviously, the feeling is reciprocated with you. That I don't really have any problem whatsoever. There's no need to apologize to me. We're trying to fight for our country, and we have different approaches, but the goal has been the same. So I haven't missed a beat. I watched the show as much as I can, and you're doing a good job, like many Nigerians tell you every day, and you've been steadfast. So thank you for what you're doing, as a matter of fact. So
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Tunaja, the screen is with you.
Okay. Before I just get going, I think people should understand that Labour Party has quite a lot of power than normal parties do. They have links to the trade unions that they should really activate and strengthen at this time. If you want to influence whatever happens in the country, you could use that. One of my fears is that if we react before the court case is done, they are going to use it against the obedience. They are already using a lot of stuff against obedience that even just for talking on Twitter or YouTube, they are already accusing them of stuff. So far, the obedience have been the most disciplined group I've ever seen in terms of given the context that we are operating in, where Rivers State was found to be rigged heavily. Some people would have lost it already just for that alone. But they've held on, and I think they should hold on even more. Wait for this in Peter Obi to say this is injustice that has just happened here. If people will say injustice has happened, that is a signal that this is not going to lie, that people should go on the street. And I believe that whatever happens, the instrument of state, to an extent, a quarter of it is already in the hands of Peter Obi. You saw how some of the soldiers called in, and then if they leverage the unions and all the rest of it, they can change that country. They really can. If people underestimate the power of those unions, they control millions. They can stop government from doing anything. And government has to consult them. ASU shut down a national university for 9 months on their own. They didn't even need a party or a popular candidate like Peter Obi to do that. That tells you the instrument Labour has. Labour is a unique party, and I'm quite happy that Peter Obi actually chose that party. I don't know whether he knew that when he did, but it's a very, very good idea that it's in Labour Party right now. And the movement, if they're going to do anything, all the stuff people have been wishing for, that they say, NSAS and all the kind of stuff, you have that in Labour Party. You have that instrument in Labour Party. And this is what I've been saying. Let's get those NLC, these heads, all those Pengas and all of them. We need to talk to them. What are they doing on the ground? Because they can change that country. They were in operation even at the height of Abacha's power. They were giving Abacha a headache. They can make anybody, if Jagaban is sworn in, they can make his life a hell if they want to. And that is why we that have believe in this movement, that want to stop this nonsense that we just saw in London. If you want to stop that, this is the way you will stop it. If you want to stop your leaders from traveling overseas for every little thing that they are tired, they want to go overseas. They don't want somebody to disturb them, they want to go overseas. They won't get treatment, they want to go overseas. Birthday, they overseas. Everything is overseas. If you want to stop that, this is the way to stop it. You let them know that if you go overseas, that plane you're going to fly, airport staff is not going to fly. You're not going to land. Good luck flying. Let's see who's going to land you. Now you're beginning to see how powerful such a union can be. Because the people that control the workers can control what happens to these people. And it will force the debate in the country. Now, if you want real change, that is real vehicle there that you can use. Thank you. I think Pastor is next. I think he's a honorable member that hasn't spoken for a very long time. So let's welcome him and
All right. Thank you very much. Let me first say hello to Mommy Diaspora.
Famsata, hello.
Thank you, Mr. Black Panther, and everybody else. Omoyes Corner, Busy Brains. I mean, I can name everybody. Of course, you too.
Welcome, Mr. Pastor. Good to have you today.
Thank you. And then our listeners and those in the comment section. I agree to everybody in these days. Now, to Nigeria, I thank you for welcoming me. And over these months and weeks, you've been introducing big topics. For example, you're normally fighting on nationalist levels. You or even fight blacks between Oyibo and us, Africans, Nigerians against the Oyibo. But it has to be well grounded. You just can't artificially order it and say, okay, let's be better than Oyibo, right? Just like the argument you have now, which is like some kind of class warfare, right? I don't know, obviously, Karl Marx and others who've looked into class warfare. Nigerians cannot expect people to come home like Dele Momodu come and do his party for Nigeria, where there's no security. There's insecurity in the country. We cannot be patriotic. We can't. I'm not going to be. When this thing is finally done and they take this mandate by force because we're cowards, then Nigerians are really going to find out. I have no problem with somebody making money and enjoying their money, driving Ferraris or whatever you want. Buy it. We're individuals. That is the highest unit that I have respect for, an individual, not a citizen, not a family member, not a clan, not a tribe. The individual, me. So you see Dele Momodu, who's worked very hard. He has Ovation magazine. He's worked very hard. There's nothing wrong with people being rich and enjoying their money, wherever they want to enjoy their money. As long as you didn't steal government money, you're free. There's nothing wrong with, there's no class warfare. That's not the war we're fighting now. We want our country. We want our votes to count. We cannot have INEC, like I said earlier. That is the only problem I have. They're doing it. Don't pretend like you don't know. You know. They're saying, what can you do? That's where the question is. You know, we rigged the election. Similar to we did it middle of the night when you woke up. You go to that IRF, it's right there. They switched River State. What are you going to do about it? Look, I'll take 2 minutes and I'll be done because this is no time to be talking and talking. We know. What are you going to do about it? Maybe we cannot do anything about it, but at least let's try. You cannot tell me that you don't know historically everywhere in the world when you have 50% Muslims and Christians, you have to have some respect. You cannot, just because we're Christians and we say, okay, look, you know, there are some good Muslims. You have Baba Ahmed. You have so many others who are good Muslims. But in every other country in the world, when you're dealing with Muslims, like in India and Pakistan, India say, look, we're divided. You do your thing in Pakistan, then we do ours in India. Or if you want us to be together as Hindi and Muslims, then we have to respect ourselves. There is no way I'm going to have respect for any Nigerian from the 29th. If they take this mandate, don't pretend you do know. Just the process alone. We spend the money. We believe the INEC. But from 2015, they kept putting in Muslims in all the parastatals, the Army, the Air Force, EFCC, INEC, Senate, Speaker of the House, President of the Senate, Chief of Police. What do you think? Sure.
Yeah, you know, Dele Momodu ran for office to be president of Nigeria. He ran for office, and So he should be aware of the problems of the country. If his first instinct is to be going overseas to spend all his money, most of his money there, then that should not be his priority. Nigeria needs that currency. Nigeria needs the promotion of its leaders to say, you know what, this is where you should spend your money. So when the leaders are setting the wrong example, this is not a problem. I am for personal liberty in terms of prosperity and personal wealth and all that. I don't have any problem with that. But how you spend the wealth and create a culture that bleeds our nation, don't you think that's something that should be discouraged?
No, I do not. And I've said to you again, with all due respect to Nigeria, please, we have an issue. We're here because of impending disrespect, the magnitude to which it's just not even fathomable. Do you know what it is for these people to think they're going to go there and steal this election, and they're going, we stole it. You know, first of all, you come out there, then we're going to shoot you. So what you're talking about is Dele Momodu, who is a private person. I don't care if he ran for office. So what? He's your slave now because he ran for office. Dele Momodu is hold on. He owes you nothing. He worked very hard for his money.
Who said he owed me anything? I never said anything about owing me.
Well, if you say that he did not dip his hands in the tail of the public trust and he's a hardworking guy, why should he even?
How do you know he didn't do that anyway?
Because
magazines don't exactly make a lot of money.
No, I don't want to go into all that kind of tangent.
How do you know? Magazines don't make that much money. You are covering for him
because you have not said that he's convicted of doing anything like that. Where did he? Are you alleging that?
I never said he was convicted. My whole point was when you create a culture that says that everything money you get, you go and spend it overseas.
That
you're not likely to
that
go to
is none
build
of
your
your.
own country.
Hold on.
No, to Nigeria, I beg to interject you. He didn't make all his money in Nigeria. He made it outside.
Yeah, but even if he made his money, look, hold on.
How many Yoruba man is coming to spend their money in Nigeria?
Hold on.
To Nigeria.
That's personal money. Now we cannot argue that on the radio or anywhere. It's personal business.
Okay,
let me. If he was not running for president.
No, hold on.
His own personal business, he was overseas. That's his own personal one. And even those ones too, I also encourage them to bring their money to Nigeria.
Okay, hold on.
Because when you're spending money on another person's country, you are strengthening their country while weakening yours.
Yeah, hold on, please. You could have that discussion when I'm gone, which will be in a minute here. I want you to maintain your dignity as I think you're hosting the panel, right? We want to talk about 29th and what Nigerians should expect. I hope they know what they're gonna get if they sit there and let this happen. If they sit there and let this happen, it's not going to be Dele Momodu or yourself or myself. We love our country. We are not going to let them, because it's a challenge right now. We stole the election. You won, but you don't have any way to defend that particular mandate. That's where it is at. They've been telling us, especially INEC chairman. You could tell this guy is a terrorist. What are you going to do about it? It's not.
What are you going to do about it? I thought you were the guy that was for individuals that have not been convicted that may have stolen it. You don't have any proof that they stole it. So what are you going to do?
I have proof.
What proof? The judge says no.
No. I'm giving you
if the judge says no, what are you going to do?
I'm going to tell you. Listen very carefully. This is not an academic debate. There are 3 standards of proof depending on what you're doing. If you're in a criminal proceeding, the standard over there is the highest. You have to prove somebody beyond a reasonable doubt to a moral certainty. We're not talking about criminal conviction in the case of INEC. You have another standard of proof that is a little lower than the criminal one, which is civil. You sue somebody owe you money. In that case, the standard is preponderance of evidence, right? We're not talking about that even here. The lowest standard we're talking about here is called the prima facie standard. We have reached that. the contestant, P2B, who is the candidate, says, I won this election. We'll go to the IREV. He won Rivers State. There's so many things to show. Even just looking at it, that's enough standard for us.
IRS is not a version. It's not any form of evidence. You know that already.
That is one interpretation of propagandists. They don't know anything they're talking about. Just because
that's your problem now. I made a comment about something that we should stop. That even P2B himself is discouraging. You said, "Oh, it's a class warfare."
Yeah,
hold on. Let me finish my point. That which is very strange for someone like you to do. For something that has my comment had nothing to do with class warfare. My comment has something to do with bettering our own country, feathering our own nest instead of feathering some other person's nest. And you come at it from individual liberty and class warfare.
Yeah, hold on. Bettering our country. How do you even know we have a country? Right?
Oh God! Hold on. Then what are you worrying about election results for if you don't care?
To Nigeria, why are you in the UK? Let's start from there. You go back.
I am in the UK for the same reason why Europeans are in Nigeria. You tell me why they are in Nigeria.
All right. So he actually.
So why are you condemning people that are going to UK, going to overseas? Why are you complaining?
Because I'm not condemning ordinary people necessarily. I'm condemning
so
the leadership.
Momodu is what?
They are created. No, the leadership. He is part of the leadership.
They created the culture. Which position is he holding right now?
He ran for president for crying out loud.
Anybody can run now. Anybody can run. You can run for any position.
He's not ordinary man. He's one of the leaders in the country. Stop making excuses.
Okay.
Stop it.
It's not excuses. You Nigeria, you are.
If you think you can make this an excuse and expect your country to be better.
That is not an excuse.
What
you drive at every day, you have to practice what you preach.
Let me tell you something. It's not about practicing what I preach.
If you think you love that country more than everybody, then pack your load and go back to that country. Then
so if I go back to Nigeria, that's when you're going to believe me. That's when suddenly your brain will become clever. And someone tells me it's not going to help you.
You have to start with first.
Let me finish my point. The point I'm making here is that when an American brought a limousine to China some time ago, the Chinese told him, take that limousine and leave this country. Why? Because they felt it wasn't good for their people to be seeing that person living excessive wealth when their people were not ready. These people show the West off as the place to be. They show Dubai and all those places for the place to be. Our people have taken most of our money. Why do you think Nigeria is poor? Most of our money is ending up in the West.
It's because of the bad leadership. What you are saying, let me tell you.
Many of these people are part of the leadership. The people that set the standard are the leaders.
Right, listen, you are shouting. If you don't get it right, all these things you are saying,
get what right.
Years,
get what right. Let's drive it to the end now. Get what right.
You have to get a good leadership, somebody that is going to pilot the nation first. Somebody that has
how do you get that leader? The leader is discouraging these things I'm telling you. You just had P2B. I don't know whether you support P2B or not. You just happy to be saying the same thing that I said.
What are you talking about? I am a weather tomorrow, today, tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Tomorrow,
are you sure you're not like
don't ask me that question. By their fruit we shall know them.
Hold on now. I'm asking you now.
You don't need to ask me that question.
Similar stuff that I said,
and we know who is not obedient. You have said it severally that you do not.
Let's not beat about the bush. I thought you said I should not be shouted. I'm talking calmly now.
Okay, go to other people and come back. To Nigeria, go to other people and come back to us.
No, why must
let him go to other people.
Boycott me? To other people. Because if he has to boycott me, I will have to leave this platform. You understand?
You came last.
No, because it's not about you. Did not call anybody. There was something you just said.
I did call Pansad because he has not been here for a very long time.
Are you back? Okay, I will yield back the time to you so you could spread it around, and then you come back to me. Then we'll continue our discussion. But please make it about 29th. Okay, make it about this election if you can. Else, we're just gonna be here wasting our time.
Mr. Pansa, two Nigeria is not going to pilot it to May 29. Two Nigeria is going to pilot another way.
The one moderating now. This is crazy.
I know you now. I know what you believe in.
See,
because...
can you leave it issue? Let me.
Okay, let me leave you because
I will start. I think I should start from the top since that is
all right.
I don't have any other order of this thing. So let me go to Patricia T. Are you there? Patricia T, are you there? Okay, Patricia T is not there. So we'll go to Mama H.O. Mama H.O, are you there? Mama H.O, are you there? Oh, she's not there. So Black Panther, it's you now. Oh, Mama H.O is there. You're muted. Okay, yeah, well done. So what do you think about what you've been hearing? Some say it's class warfare to tell Nigeria to come and spend money in Nigeria.
I'm not starting with that. I'm starting with 29.
All right.
I'm glad that home and abroad we've all agreed that if we don't do nothing, and this might sworn in for one day, it's going to affect all of us. And that is my joy. I'm so happy that we've gotten to a point we know that this impunity must not stand. Because if it stands for one day, all of us, home and abroad, we will suffer the consequence. And we that are here, we will suffer the consequence more. Because me and you know that if you don't work, you don't get paid. And if you don't get paid, you can't pay your bill. And when you cannot pay your bill, you're on your way to homelessness. It's as simple as that. Because when they now begin, all America and all this, and every one of them keep quiet now. The moment they swear that drop barrel in, the moment they swear that or get Guinea citizen in, they will now begin to propaganda it like no man business. And all your employer, they will hear of it. So what will happen? Social profiling. And all these people, all these whitey girls, when they kukuma hate to now, blacky men, they will set you up. You will lose your job. To get job will become problem. So you are quarter to homelessness. So this $, when you take Bugatti, they say go home. Road closed. We are back to square one. And they analyze them for all of now when they Western world. When una head no one set. One at they say constitution say make they swear in. I just they tell you how it could be. The people for Nigeria, they used to the suffering and smiling. But me and you here, we not say if we not work for 1 hour, you will not be paid. So if you are working 8 hours a day, if you don't work for it, you won't be paid. Nigeria, once they go work, they not get work. Especially those who get work. They go, they not go, then they get their salary. So me and you, who wants to suffer? Those where they celebrate tutu, tiffy. So at the analyzer for now, make una sabi and where. So that una go use una intelligence and brilliancy to support those people at home so that May 29 does not hold. If it will cost resources, let us do it. It must not hold. Because none of us will be exempted. Chicken, as for Dele Momodu, how many people they carry their money because they buy house for that place? How many? How many? they thief for their system, they put her inside their system. But when a thief for their system, now go carry and come here. Shame on all of you now. I talk and say, make una stop to thief. But if thief dey for your DNA, thief and make you take and develop your village. Because as all of them, they thief, they loot up and down. It is not take and they develop in a village. All the city not go there congested like that. Look at all the rural area in this Western world when you dey. Everything you need, everything the major city, it is in their rural area. When I finish, the place where I go work, now Rifle, Colorado. Rifle, Colorado to Denver is about 3.5 hour drive. But everything when it there for inside Denver, everything when there Aurora, they there for Rifle, Colorado. But now, instead of a thief, they develop in a village. Now go take and buy property when the Oyibo man not even buy with their money. This one that they call, this rich man that they call, is it Warren? Bofa, be what they call his name. The house when he buy, since now he see that to do as he rich for America. All of them get money, now go show up. Competition of the highest order. Now go they go buy Italian product. They build house called luxury home in Nigeria. Now they patronize on our local people. So how now want to grow? Shame. Shame on all of us. We say we dey intelligent. We say we dey smart. We say we dey brilliant. We go call they take our help them develop their place. Leave our own. God give us rich culture. We don't have. We can't carry this useless one that they themselves does not like. If they like their culture, why would they be sending people to Ibadan to go and learn Yoruba in 9 months? And they will learn everything because they speak, they dance their dance, they go away in Yoruba. And me and you ain't even come from Nigeria. We don't know nothing. Shame on all of us. If we are not tired for this shame, I go make una tired so that our head go reset. Make we begin to build our country and go back home. Thank you.
Well said, well said. Wow, that was quite good. Black Panther, are you there? Black Panther, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. What do you think about what you've asked for?
Mama, you have spoken well and you have spoken my mind, and that is what we are talking about. An Africanism. An African should appreciate themselves so that their fellow Africans who are spread around the world can come back to know their root. We don't know how rich we are until this new world order will consume us again. The first world order consumed us, we came out. The second world order, when it will come, there's no way we will go out again. We better wake up and fight this fight, because this is one of the fights that we must fight. And the foundation, we are going to lay this foundation, because this foundation about to lay is the one that will make us stand upright when is their nonsensical second world order will come in, because they've already agreed now. We should be watching what is happening. The G7 have agreed now to gradually step out of Asia now. And remember what they said the other time, they're going to make Africa, one of the leaders in Europe, they are going to make Africa a farmland. We should all wake up and develop our place and find a law and constitution that is fully African. We didn't grow up with democracy. Not that democracy is bad. We didn't grow up with democracy. But when democracy came, we threw away our culture. We threw everything away and said, this smart culture is going to be the best for us. And they are coming back to even learn our culture, like what Mommy just said. To learn about Ifa, to learn about many things. And we are there looking like morons. And we are there speaking, African culture, this is not bad. Tell me what came into you now to not dispute it in public instead of you trying to make an amendment and let us transform and renew it. But you keep on saying, oh, this side is good, better than us. What came into you that make you say that this side is better than us when you have not started changing your own and refining your own? And look at how beautiful, when it has been refined, it will come out to become the best in the world. What made you think so? When when your brothers goes into a place that is well refined and they will not come out to be the best and put about a new theory that the world will now use as a solution to their own state. What make you think about that Africa does not produce the best? Africa is not the best. Where civilization came from. We so belittle ourselves. We go out to invest. Even if you okay, like what Mami said, you steal money, you cannot even develop your own village. You cannot even do common road. Look at all these people that claim themselves they are billionaires. Go to their village and you see what is there. Nothing. They still drive up top red sand, white stones to their place. And now the Asians are coming to take that red sand that you think is nothing. They are taking that red sand because there's something in that red sand that will create wealth in their own country. When great African leaders spoke, they said, oh, they were speaking in that time. How does that time correlate? It's because we lack wisdom. Many of us lack wisdom. There's what we call wisdom. When our forefather will speak wisdom to us, wisdom is not precise, but it's a foundation that will give you a thought toward the future. But many of us look at it. We will now start questioning the wisdom. We like questioning things our fathers put down. We like questioning it instead of us building to see the future from the word is spoken. Many African leaders have seen all these things we are passing through. They have seen it. Even one professor in Kenya keep on speaking it, and he's seen it. Now we are selling ourselves back into slavery. We don't know, because many of us in diaspora, we have been indoctrinated into the European whatever syndrome that some we don't see. When we talk about empty Africa, we see bad, evil. It's because many of us did not study the history of Africa. That is just the truth about it. That is why we are fighting now. We are fighting now. And we have to fight now for our tomorrow, for our children to be better. We have to create that foundation. We have to now start thinking back. This is the time to fight now, to bring this thought we are thinking about now to come to reality. If we don't fight this fight of taking the power hands of those people, remember, they use our people to enslave us. Now, it is the same thing that is coming back again. They are using a non-entity that will sit on the throne and then start enslaving its own people. What will it benefit us to destroy our own and beautify others? What will it benefit us? Now, terrorism now, they are finding an abode in Africa. Many African leaders now did not think about that. Look at it now. They drove many of them from wherever they are. They are finding their abode in Africa. Nigeria is now their standard now, killing people in their home and now taking over their villages. That is what is happening. Sister Omoye spoke something about making Africa a new place for to bring their criminal. It's exactly what is happening now. The terrorists, they are making the terrorists to stake in their boat because Africans, with their leaders, have made their peoples weak. We have made ourselves weak. Africans are warriors. They fight and they get victory. But now they've made ourselves in such a way that we are fighting against ourselves. Terrorists come from outside the Sahara, they come and kill people, and then they now put a foundation and they are now building their home here. That is exactly what they want, because they want them to come to this side because they don't want trouble. They want development. We African, we have refused development. Now we'll take the terrorists. Let's see how we're going to fight it back. We got to fight this thing back. We have to take hold of the government because the foundation, set a new foundation and make sure that we are in charge of our border. What is this bad that if we have reserve, military reserve all over the state and the state government be in charge of their military reserve? What is bad in it? Must we copy the Western world? What is bad in our government, in every state having its own military reserve? Tell me what is bad in that. Is it not to make sure that everything is in peace, to have good defense? Military reserve, they contribute to the state as a whole. What is it? What is it bad? Can't we start from somewhere? We have decided to copy, and now we have copied, and our leaders have really taught us how to copy the bad part, and they are doing it, rigging for over 63 years, and this is where we are today. If we don't get this right, one day we all will become forefathers, and our children will still be fighting this fight that we have left behind. Our forefathers left it behind for us, and now we are fighting. If we don't get it right, we become forefathers and we'll hand it over to our children. That is the picture. There's no other picture. That is the picture. We have to rise up now. We have to tell our people, we have to keep on speaking. We know what they are doing. We know what they are doing. The richest nations in the world are finding a very suitable place for them to now make their wealth and develop their own land. And they are looking at Africa. If you don't know, follow the G7. They are looking at Africa. They want to dump the Asian tigers. They are about to dump them. It is only the Asian tigers that follows them that will eat the piece meat, the crumbs from the table. But they are about to dump them. Go and listen to the G7, what they are talking now. There's a new world order. If Africa decide not to develop their own country, you will never be called. Ask me, how many African countries that were called into this? It's just one tiny island. I've forgotten the island in Africa they called. Just that island they called for the G7. Just one island where you have big nations, great nations in Africa. They didn't call them, but they just called one tiny island. I've forgotten the island in Africa. We should rise up. If we don't fight this 29 to a standstill, we have more trouble ahead. We have more fight ahead. And it's going to be worse. It's going to be ×2 of what you have seen. Terrorism will take its full headquarters in Nigeria. You know, Nigeria is a very massive country. And they'll say, why are they not? They should cut small and give to people. Then the Western world will come and negotiate with you for you to cut your land and give to them. Ukraine are fighting for their land now. They are fighting, they are dying. And we are sitting there. Mr. Pamsa said, what is wrong about war? Though I'm not supposed to use it. But what's wrong about it? If that is the last minute to fight to make your motherland good, what's wrong about it? I best to rest my case here.
Thank you. Well said. Let's avoid that word as per policy, and we want to keep Nigeria pressure. We want to maintain his blood pressure. We don't want it to go up with all this type of language. He doesn't like it, you know that. And not him even. It's not him. It's a policy of So we have to try to keep that in check. Is Ishaw or is it F. Emmanuel? F. Emmanuel. Has F. Emmanuel spoken? F. Emmanuel, have you spoken?
No, I've not spoken. Two Nigerians. Can you just go to the next person? I will call. I will talk later. Just later, in the next 10 minutes. Yeah, just go to the next person.
Nice. All right then. Isha Olua, it's your turn.
Yeah. Two Niger.
All right.
I was thinking you are not going to call me because you wouldn't want to hear my voice.
Come on, I'm not that petty. Come on, that's ridiculous. Why not?
Yes, you are piloting this well, and I'm so proud of you. You know, it's just that sometimes we don't align because your ideology is very, very far from what we are, pursuing right now. Because your ideology is going to take us a longer years to achieve that. What we need now is a man with a good heart, a man that has the heart of a nationalism, that is going to understand the plight of a common man, and which we have seen in the life of His Excellency Peter Obi. But if he gets into the office and still do otherwise, we will still come up and still criticize him. It's as simple as ABC. So let me start with on the 29th of May, which I know is not going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it must not stand. Because I see some APC, members jubilating that the Secretary of the State called this and that. You people are playing with the Westerners. Just get this man sworn in, God forbid, swear him in just 1 minute. Then you will see on the international media. You will see what we call social profiling. You will see even we that are living here in diaspora. You will see. So that is why everybody has to rise up right now and said this must not stand. It doesn't matter wherever you are, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in diaspora, this cannot stand. This court case, yes, our principal is fighting it, in the right direction. That is the process. Yes, let him continue to fight, in the right process. But we, as the people, what you are talking about right now is about May 29. Because this court case is not going to end before May 29. Let us get the facts. But what you are talking about now, why this case is still going on, Agbado must not be sworn in. Never. He must not be sworn in. And I understand where you are coming from. Yes, we have so many people, investing in the foreign land, making the economy boom. Yes, nobody will want to invest in a society that that is not secured. I'm not talking about the one that have stolen our money. No, that one there is no excuse about it. When the time comes, we are going to recover all those loot. So we are not talking about that right now, because how about Abacha? Abacha family should tell you what's up. So that one is not that one is my list of worries, because I know that when we get it right, all those money they are taking, both the one they are still taking right this minute, they are going to vomit all of them, which I know of that. They are going to vomit all of them. And you see, the Westerners, if you understand the way they do things, you will know that these people are not straightforward. I don't blame them, because I blame the people that are selling us out. We should call it the way it is. These people are selling us out. They are selling us out. That is to tell you that the people we call our so-called leaders, they are not leaders. They are just there for their stomach infrastructure. They are just there to siphon. They don't even have one, just little love. They don't love that country at all. How can you tell me that somebody like Buhari living under many days is still borrowing money, still leading us into debt upon debt upon debt? And if APC says they love Nigeria, why did they bring this man that is half dead? They have people they should have brought on. Why did they bring this person? That is to tell you that these people, there is no love. They don't love this country. Everybody is just coming to take their own, coming to share. Look at what is going on now. Wike is going. Kwakwaso is going. I'm so glad that we did not make that mistake to have, fallen into the hands of Kwakwaso. You see how God, is vindicating us? Let's assume that Kwakwaso was Dati Ahmed Baba. Do you know what we would have been facing right now? Pampas is Pampas issue is just minor. We would have been so that, this case we are talking about would have been a forgotten issue because it would have been from that day one, it would have gone and said, don't forget about it. So that is to tell you that the people, these people that so-called call themselves, leaders, we are beginning to see that because for a very long time, you see why what is happening right now. For a very long time, the youth has not paid attention to what is going into the political, terrain. And who called us out? It was Buhari that called us out. The moment he said, now lazy Nigeria youth, okay. Now we are out now, they are complaining. They don't have respect, they don't do this, they don't want to move on. But you called us out. When you were not ready, why did you call us out? These people have risen up to take back their country, now you are complaining. Why did you call them out when you know you are not ready? They say we should go to court. Why are you complaining? You asked us to go to court. Now we are in court. Look at what they are doing. Planting this and that and this and that, So that May 29 is my priority right now. That May 29 must not stand. That May 29 must not stand. Everybody, mama, papa, Peking, everybody has to rise up wherever you are. You have to rise up and say no. I do not consent to Tinubu Shetima presidency. I do not consent. They don't have my consent. And I know we have hundreds of millions of people that do not consent. So who are you going to rule? Who are you going to govern? The people who have rejected you, the people who have said that no, you are not our president. Why are you forcing yourself on us? It's not going to happen. It's not going. If people force themselves in that place, they should just expect what is going to happen. Because I know that nobody is going to take it. Because I know I'm not going to take it. And I know a lot of people are not going to take it. That is just the gospel truth. Enough is enough. These people have dealt with us for a very long time. And now the people want to liberate themselves, and these people say no. Pharaoh, you people have to let the people go. And if you people refuse to let the people go, you people will perish as Pharaoh perished in the Red Sea. May 29 is coming. Let's see. Everybody, wherever you are, you have to rise up. It is now or never. It is now or never. These countries we are calling today, we are talking about today, this Western world, people fought for them. People fought for them to become what they are today. It didn't come a day. It didn't just come like that. People fought. So that is why everybody has to fight right now. It is now or never. We have to fight this. Because we have been letting this go. We have been, Nigerians are used to, let us wait for another 4 years, before 4 years. No, we don't have any 4 years. We don't have any 4 years. Because we know the people that we lost during this time of Buhari, and the people, unfortunately, it is the truth. The people, if peradventure, these people going, the people that we are going to lose will be more than the people that we lost during, the last 8 years. So what are we talking about? We don't have anybody to be raped. We don't have anybody, to be invaded, their villages. We don't have any more person to lose their life. We don't have it. We don't even have 1 day. We don't even have 1 minute for Agbado to be sworn in. We don't even have it. He must not be sworn in. After this court case, yes, once the actual winner, is a match, we already know the actual winner. Then nobody will be fighting about this. If this election was not rigged, if what Mahmoud, I call him Mumu because he's a Mumu Yakubu, when he had the opportunity to write his name, on the platter, on the platter of gold, he just useless it. Somebody in that kind of position Before, when I was growing up, we used to respect professor. When you hear professor, this is a professor I like. Everybody like, what is like, professor, this. We hold them to a high esteem. But these same people are really dead with us. You see now what is going on right now? The people that we still call men of God, people we pay homage to, people we respect. In the name of religion. Look at the way now that we needed them the most. Look at what they are doing to us. They have failed us. Our leaders have failed us. The judiciary that we are looking at today are the last resort. Are they going to fail us? Everybody should be ready. Are they going to fail us? Everybody should be ready. Because if they fail us, that means it's over, because any person that is down does not fear any fall anymore. A man that is down does not fear a fall.
I think Nigeria is asleep or somebody snoring there.
I think someone was asleep in there, not me. I don't know where you got me. This guy, what's wrong with you, man? Sorry, can you round up, please?
Yes, I think Pansa is paying very close attention to you. So to Nigeria, you should be aware of Pansa right now.
Not my Pansa.
But hold on. By the way, the last speaker, you made a very powerful submission. But to Nigeria, let me just interject for 1 second, and then you can continue to the next person, right?
Okay.
All right.
I was gonna say to you that I have a question I want to ask you, and I want you to just answer me succinctly so that I will understand. If you are in a house and your roof catch on fire, God forbid, but your roof they burn, your house they burn, you see rats, they begin to run around from the roof from your house. Are you going to pursue that rat, or are you going to try to put out that fire? What would you do?
Is that question for me or for
Tunaija? For Tunaija.
Okay, because I know.
Why not you were asking him? I didn't know. Sorry. Go ahead. Ask me again. Sorry.
Okay. I'm saying, if you, by the way, as a host, when I'm asking somebody a question, you should also pay attention to me asking that person. It's not when I address you. Anyway, so if your house is on fire, right, and your roof is burning, and you just happenstance see that, but at the same time you see a rat begin to run around, are you going to put out that fire, or are you going to pursue that rat?
Of course, you put the fire out.
Right? So that's why I'm saying that on this 29th is what we're pursuing, not class warfare or Oyibo or all those things. That's the only problem you and I have most of the time. It's like a distraction. I don't think you're doing it on purpose then, if you answer the question honestly. So, we have an issue that is a week from now. What are we going to do? Okay, so let's get this panel to deal with that.
This session was put forward because when I made the submission, I brought that topic up, hence why the session, they've already spoken about the 29th stuff, we've been talking about it for a while. So this session was to address some of those points that were raised because of the video. I don't know whether you saw the Momodu video, because of that video. So that's why we're dealing with the actual topic at hand. So it's not necessarily, forgetting that the 29th is happening and the court case is going on, which is going. It's one of the reasons why Nigeria Watch is not here. He's going to rest so that he can be able to come on tomorrow again to deal with the court this in case. So you understand what I'm saying? So let me let this in Ulua finish his this thing so I can round up, and then we can come back to you. I think Rita is around, isn't it? So Rita can go, then we'll get back to Pansat. Olua, please finish your submission.
So as I was saying, that May 29 must not stand. So everywhere you are, whether in diaspora, in Nigeria, everybody has to rise up right now. From tomorrow, which is, I know Nigeria is already Monday, everybody has to rise up. Everybody has to rise up. We should see some fire. We should see some action. Peaceful protest. Everybody should just come out. Just mount and observe. Peaceful. When they see the people, coming out, they will know that, yeah, these people are serious. And that question that Mr. Pansat asked you, I'm very, very, very happy for that question. Because this time is not the time for distraction. This time is not the time to be asking who is, let's invest here. No. there is time for everything. Now is a matter of now or never. Because if we start chasing, chasing things that does not matter, like when these charlatans that they were bringing to um, labor parties to distract. You see, our principal is focused. You see, he is just focused, following this because he knew that this is the area they are coming. They are coming to distract him. There is no time for that. There is a time to address all those things. That is why our papa said, he's not giving me attention. He did not even recognize me. You are nobody, so you are not in the question. So why will he recognize you? Because he already knew what you came there to do. So why will he distract himself? Why will he worry himself for 1 minute? Because he already has so many things to be worried about. So you see what I'm talking about. So I know what you are talking about is a very good thing, but this is not the time to discuss about all those nationalism and all these things. There will be a time. By the time we have already settled, the matter in that nation, we'll be able to, address all those things. If you don't have a good leadership, you then talk this thing from now till 100 years. Nobody is going to listen to you. Nobody is not going to address itself. If you have a system that is working, everything will be stabilized. Everything, if you see there is an institution that is going to take care of that. We only have EFCC to take care of the poor. They don't go after these people that have stolen, billions. If they even indict them, they will just take more million from them and leave them. And why they will go after the innocent people, the poor, the oppressed. So what are we talking about? Look at the DSS. What are they doing? They have already reduced themselves to a bodyguard, for just one man. So we need somebody that has the capacity, somebody that has the ability, somebody that has the character to pilot that place. Once we have it, because that is what has been lacking. If you go anywhere, you see that Nigerians are doing exploits. But once it comes, the only place that we are lacking is this area of leadership. That is the only thing that we are lacking. Once we just get it, you will see that Nigeria will be a center for the world. Nigeria will be a place of attraction. Once we get it right, that is why we are putting all our bet, all our force, all our energy in this man, Peter the Rock Obi, because we believe that through him we'll be able to redeem ourselves. Through him we'll be able to, get to the level that we should be by now. I remember when Malaysia started, when Singapore, look at the country Singapore, look at Malaysia. When did they spring up? Look at where they are today, you know. So it just requires somebody that has the vision. Just one man. It just only takes one man. Once you have one person, it will just set the platform and everybody will come and follow that platform, you know. Because if we continue this thing to tomorrow, it's not going to change. What we need is that person to come in. That is why we have to channel it to Peter Obi. And before I leave, I must say that May 29 must not stand. People don't understand what is happening, what is going to happen after, they make mistakes. Because even these people that are still clamoring for APC, they will be the people that are going to suffer it the most. They will be the people that are going to suffer it the most. By the time they make that mistake, just 1 minute, you will see the reaction of the people in the world. You will just see the reaction. Nobody will even tell you. You will see the reaction. So that is why I must not stand. Every reasonable person, in our national anthem, he said, "Arise, O compatriots." This is the time for them everybody to arise, because the country calls. Country has called for attention. So everybody need to arise. Whatever you are doing, you have to put it aside and stand for that constitution that is about to be broken. Because once a constitution is broken, the country is gone. So we must not allow that to happen. Let me use my mic for another person to speak. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Listen, Rita, thank you for coming in. So, what do you think about what you've had? I don't know whether you saw the Momodu video and everything else that has been going on.
Hi, Mr. Tunanja. And I just want to say, first of all, Sir Pansat, welcome. I didn't realize you were here. I'm just coming in. I guess I miss a lot. And Mr. Victor, I know the last time we spoke we were on a Saturday Night Live, and I just kind of like had to leave. Um, I didn't watch the previous video, and I guess based on what has been said, people are talking about the 29th of May, right? So what was?
It was a video of a birthday that he was celebrating that Peter Obi attended.
Oh, the one with
And
Dele
in
Momodu.
London, yes.
Okay.
And Peter Obi attended the birthday and just to say hi. And in the London home that was looking really, really nice and all that, Peter Obi said that, maybe we should be doing these things, we want to be doing these sort of things in our home, in our country. So, so I was saying, and I said, for me, that is the most redeeming part of that meeting, because that is what separates Obi from many of these other people. He wants to bring prosperity into this country, while some of people prefer to, take the money overseas and set a precedence that everybody thinks, everything good in this world is overseas instead of looking at it inside their own country. So that's the debate that has been going on. And Passat came with a controversial view, but it's all right. He's going to have his chance to flesh out some of his points. So I don't know what you think of what you've heard so far.
First of all, I don't think Mr. Passat is controversial. I just think he just has a different view about certain things, just like you. Okay. Let's start from First of all, I think I was listening to my brother that was speaking, the previous speaker, I think Isha Olua. There's something that just keeps resonating in my mind. And I asked it in the private chat. Are Nigerians ready for sacrifice? Are Nigerians ready to take the bull by the horn? I know Mr. Elvis was always speaking about, people in the beer parlor just doing their thing, having parties. It's like, everything is peaches and cream in the country. They're just oblivious to what is really going on and the consequences of INEC Select and, what the oligarchs are doing. Unfortunately, that's the reality. It's not right, because when you look at other countries, with just a little bit of change, there's an uproar. Everybody in that country is in it because it's their country. They don't have any other place to go. This is their country of birth. This is where they want to live and die. But in the Nigerian context, I don't think we have such patriotism anymore. Some people might say, oh, it's easy for me to say what I'm saying because I live in the diaspora. We've been speaking about this thing for ages. With this, Peter Obi's emergency since last year, and I would say most of the manpower. Let me use that word, manpower. Even if we're not there physically, everybody's talking. Nigeria is sacrificing, just like each of you here. I mean, different time zones now. Some people are actually in a club right now, flexing and dancing in the club in Nigeria. But some of you choose here. I mean, it's past. You're already on Monday. I'm still on Sunday. But there's the sacrifice? But are Nigerians ready for that sacrifice? Even if we have Nigerians who are ready for that sacrifice, it's just 1%. It's just 1%. So when you say, we must get our mandate 29th will not happen, this is the reality. Many people will come out that day. I don't know the number of people that would come, and I hope it's a considerable number where the security agencies will have nothing but just to let them be. But the less people that comes out on the 29th to protest, if the judges do not scrap 29th inauguration happening, the number of people that would come out, it will be such a number that it will be very easy for the security agencies to pack them like a pack of sardines and put them in one container. And what happens after then? There's no uproar. That is why I'm going back to what I said initially. Are Nigerians truly ready? Are Nigerians serious? It's one thing to say it must not happen. We're saying that because of the faith that we have. That something, some immaculate conception or something will just happen like a magic. But I'm not doubting that. I'm not trying to make it look mediocre. No, it's good to speak like that with faith, but we also have to think of actions. What are we going to do to make sure that doesn't happen? Because we know the judiciary is compromised. And I think the reason why this has kind of dragged on is like they're dangling a carrot to Nigerians. This the tribunal has dragged on and dragged on. We all know tomorrow is the last day of the preliminary case, then before they actually start the real trial. They haven't started the real trial. And of course, we know it's going to be it's going to go until after May 29th. But now, if we want to focus on May 29th, we need to focus on May 29th as it is. It's not really about the court case or who is national chairman or whatever. That's not really. But are Nigerians really ready? I'm here. But in Nigerians in Nigeria, what is the quantity of, what is the amount of people that's going to come out that day? I'm hoping and I'm believing, I'm praying that the number of people who have been coming out every day, I see the numbers are increasing a little bit, but I hope before the 29th comes that the numbers are going to escalate, where the realization that this is going to happen, the people who are going to put this man, they're going to say, okay, this is turning out to be something else. Because these people, they're going to get ready with their tear gas and their, hopefully, rubber iron, and, use it. They're just going to do what they're going to do because they're desperate. But are Nigerians really ready to sacrifice? Are they really ready? It's easy for us to say it, but that day, what's going to happen? We are trying to go through the legal way to say, okay, let us go through the legal way and wait for a competent judge, an uncompromised judge, to say that 29 is not supposed to hold. And today I got a reflection of what Dati Baba Ahmed was saying when he said, Chief Justice, do not involve yourself in unconstitutionality. It is wrong. And what that guy was saying, it was so profound. I was like, oh my God, what is really going on? If May 29 comes on and they swear this guy in, we're done. Democracy is dead. Democracy is dead. Let me know the word. Democracy is fried. It's toast. Done. Really and truly, I think a lot of Nigerians do not recognize or realize what is going to happen. Somebody that didn't fulfill what the Constitution says. This is a slap on the judiciary, a slap on our Constitution, a slap on anything that signifies law in Nigeria. If they swear that guy in, it just means that this is now like really not Nigeria, but Banana Republic, where everything goes for the oligarchs. Nobody talks. Constitution is there just for the sake of being there, just written in black and white on a piece of paper, and that's it. But it's not implemented. So how is the country being run? Under what? Under drug barons, under oligarchs, under porcupines and their minions. It is a very serious thing. And I think that needs to be preached to the entire nation. The people who are going to beer parlor and saying, I don't care. You have to care, because what is going to happen if this man is giving the oath of office is there's nothing like law again. It does not exist in Nigeria. It means you can just enter somebody's house, take the person's wife, nothing happens. Or enter someone's house, buy the person's child and the man, and just take the wife. Nothing will happen. As you're driving, someone can just stop you and say, hey, I like this, your Toyota. Come down, I'm taking it. Nothing will happen. You have nowhere to go. There's no lawyer that will defend you. Even if you go to court, there's no judge that will answer you. They will postpone it till you buy. You will not get your Toyota back. That is what we are going. That's where we are going. That's the interpretation of what these people are doing. It's so annoying and painful that we don't have. That's why what do Nigerians really know what's really going on? Are Nigerians really to sacrifice? So far, I've seen some are willing to, but the numbers that are willing to is really, really minute. It's really small. So that's why it seems like nobody's really taking them serious. May 29 is very serious. If the Chief Justice and Mohammed Buhari flouts the Constitution, we are done. Just forget it. Even if they're going to court, just forget it. It means that you're trying to tell us the Constitution of Nigeria, you are above it. It means nothing. It's just something written on paper. That's what it means. Nigerians need to get it, but are they willing to get it? We can only talk, educate, teach, or inspire people because we're in this diaspora. We're not there physically. But I think our duty as we're speaking, hopefully, many Nigerians will get the implication. Maybe the weekend of the 29th, it actually really get to their mind like this is what's happening. I know there's a slew of activities that's going to go on this week. The Eagle Square and all that. They're doing all their dinner and Thanksgiving. So I don't know which pastor or which priest is going to do Thanksgiving for Buhari that is living. I don't know. I don't know which Bible or I don't know which Quran that they are reading. Because if you want to start planning to do a Thanksgiving for somebody that, the country is in abject poverty, our naira is devalued. Just look at the debt it's I don't know which pastor is going to stand though. And whatever it is that they preach this Sunday, I hope someone like Pastor Eneche will have preached to the people to tell them the implications. Possibly they will not tell everybody go and protest or go outside. They won't say that, but hopefully whatever it is that they preached today, the sensible men of God, the sensible Christians, I don't want to call any name right, after Pastor Eneche because he's in Abuja and that's why I'm mentioning his name. I know there's a lot of them. Whatever it is that they preach today and whatever it is that they will preach on coming Sunday, would the preaching should ponder on the consequences of what is the interpretation of what these evil people are going to do on the 29th so that Nigerians will get it. And the reason why I'm saying the church now, because there's millions of people go to church. Nigerians are very religious and they look up to their pastors or imams. So those ones have the duty right now to start telling them the implications. And if they don't like it, they got to do what they have to do. And what they have to do is, number one, come out that day and protest to say peacefully, this man did not get the mandate. Let the court case and let the judgment come. You can put somebody there, as a backup, if it's Oshibajo or whomever, until the judgment stands before we know, okay, this is the person that actually deserves to serve Nigeria. If not, just kiss Nigeria goodbye. Kiss every constitution you know. If you're a lawyer or a judge, just know that you wasted law school and the 4 or 5 years of your life in Nigeria. If you spent 5 years, if all things been equal, plus the law school and the NYC, just know it was all useless. It was all in futility. Now back to the video about Peter Derokobi, my president, talking to Dele Momodu. I'm not going to even talk about the people who are there or Dele Momodu. I'm just going to ponder on what Peter Obi said based on what you said, Mr. Tonanja, about it would be preferably if we celebrate in Nigeria and all that. I think in summary, I think what Peter Obi was trying to say that we are better off having fun, investing our resources, having beautiful houses like this, purchasing the food and the drinks that you buy is all in from the UK, your mortgage or utilities, everything is in UK. You are actually like running the engine of another country. You will have done better if you can replicate it or it's about the same thing, in Nigeria. But you cannot choose where people want to stay, right? It's a personal choice. But the kinds of people he was talking to, the kind of people that were there with him, these people have most of their investments outside Nigeria. And I guess that's where that discussion is coming from. Because sometimes when you're a certain gathering, you're certain people, even if you're an elite, somebody like Peter Derokobi is an elite and, he knows what these rich people do. He knows the kind of rascality that they perform. And the only difference with him is that he has compassion and he's so passionate about his country. He's very proud of Nigeria. So when he sees a sort of frivolous spending or kind of having this pride in celebrating in another country, and then most of your resources are coming from your mother country, it looks painful. It's almost like, I don't want to celebrate with you. It's almost like everybody's just in this merry-go-round thing and nobody's even thinking of the poor. Nobody's even thinking that the money that you spend on the food that day, they probably threw some food in the garbage. But there's a lot of Nigerian children that haven't eaten like even half square meal, not even one. One is too big right now. Half square meal. Some of them have not eaten chicken in like 2 years. They don't know what chicken tastes like. It's true. Some people might say, oh, it's impossible. Whatever. It is true. Some people have not eaten chicken in 2 years or more, possibly. They're just living just to get by. And then you see these people who are part of the elites or who are friends of the elite celebrating in a foreign man's land, drinking and marrying and all that. There's nothing wrong with that in being happy or celebrating your birthday, but, there's something beneath that, kind of relative to our country and the conditions in which our country is in now. So that's why I guess he was compelled to say what he said. Because I feel for him, I see him as a man that no matter where we go, especially if he's in a foreign land where people are gathered and you're celebrating like peaches and cream, all is all nice and jollof, and then people are suffering. He just can't take it. He has to say something. He just got to say something. So that I think that's the passion, the compassion that's in him that just compels him to just speak about something relating to Nigeria. Some people might find it offensive, but he doesn't really care. But I think that's just what it is. And I just sending us a message that what, especially to the elites, you can be enjoying buy your houses here with your children and all that, but it's not right. It's not right. Do the right thing. When you do the right thing, then you can celebrate or invest wherever you are, because most of these people, they make their money from from the corrupt system in Nigeria, and then they invest abroad. That's what's killing Africa today. We steal from Africa and invest elsewhere. And then sometimes you wonder what's wrong with the black man. Is it a black man thing, or is it a personal thing that's greed? We say black man because the white man would not steal from his country and come to Africa to invest. So that's just what I have to say for now.
Thank you. And sometimes we have formed this habit of buying into this idea of individualistic stuff, individualistic liberty and prosperity and all the rest. And that only fuels these tendencies. We forget that many of these countries don't behave like that, really. They make it sound like that now. The moment they get anything near our behavior, our condition, you will see the way they react. This G7, the way they are behaving with the G7 right now against China, it's not because China attacked them. China didn't kill anybody, but just because they know the potential dangers or the potential competition China is going to pose to them, they're already reacting.
No, Mr. Naja was Mr. Tunaja.
So let's not, yeah.
Yeah, let me interject a little bit. Sorry. You know why they are going that way? It's because of what happened in Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. Russia is holding them hostage for the gas. So they don't want to experience that again. They want to take another route. That's why they invited one African nation, an island. They then invited Brazil and one other country and India into that so that they can start talking. But Africa, they are coming after Africa very soon. And then the constitution, what Mrs. Rita and Madam Rita was saying, the problem is that to every one of us, we were part of the problem. Let me say why. How? When we rise up, when we were in school, then we were after they took power, they brought in power, and then this Abdul Salam now created the constitution, which we don't know. We started talking from there, but people were saying, "Make una go sit down. This is a constitution. It's 1963 constitution." We told them, no, people wrote this thing and gave it to us, and they are saying, we the people, we don't have a constitution. That was said, told them, we don't have a constitution. They went to court for the interpretation of what happened. The court was corrupt, and that was all. That was all. The interpretation wasn't done, and they just throw it on that technical ground, throw the case off. It was challenged in the court. Now they knew, the guys that wrote it knew that Nigeria, we don't have a constitution. That is why you see they can break anything, because there's nothing to break. They know we don't have. That is why they can break anything. They know you don't have. Did you sit down and write anything? That is it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And just so before Pansat goes, just to be clear, the way the entire globe operates right now, it's an interesting conversation that we'll probably need to have. Because the Europeans and people don't understand how close we are to it's very, very serious danger. They really don't. They just think this is a joke business. If they look at what Trump did, Trump is a different kind of leader. He's more racialized kind of leader. And because of his more racialized approach, he was willing to tolerate Russia in part of Europe so that region can unite. And with the power of the United States, the only bad side of Trump is that he doesn't like China. If he did, Africa would be in serious soup. Serious soup. Do you know why that is? That would unite the entire Eurasia continent plus the US power. That we are talking about over 3 to 4 billion people. And we are on the dining table. The reason why NATO, as you see it right now, opposes Russia so much, because if Russia joins Europe, America's power will be diluted. Because now, Russia and Europe suddenly has all the things they need. They have the nuclear, they have the wealth, they have the prosperity, and they have proximity. So the Anglo-Saxon arm of the Europeans, which is the English part, don't make no mistake, these are the ones that won the Second World War. They won the First World War. They are not going to let that power go. Hence, why they keep the Western Europe and Russia apart. That is their whole purpose. That's why they blew up that pipeline. And they warned Russia, they warned Germany about it. Even Trump was complaining about that pipeline. I remember when he was telling Germany, you people are just taking money, using all this Russian money when you should be getting. And after they blew that pipeline, where did Germany go and get their oil? Straight from America. So you really need to study the fault lines within the way the Europeans operate. Russia wanted to join NATO. Guess who blocked it? The UK and US. That Anglo-Saxon arm of the Europeans are the ones controlling the world. They are even more powerful than the French because they have US, England, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and part of Canada. What did the other side have? They barely have anything to shake a stick at. And if you look at this war in Ukraine, who do you think is spearheading it? Let's remove the US. Okay, US is spearheading. Look at the other countries spearheading it. They are mostly these Anglo-Saxon arms. So I will leave that aside. So, Pastor, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. And to all the panelists who have made submissions, Ms. Rita and Mr. Lua, very good. And then, of course, to Niger. So, to Niger, let me first tell you a proverb in Igbo, then I would translate it in English so others can hear. I'm going to attempt to translate it in English. And this goes to all Nigerians in regard to this 2023 election and where we find ourselves. The proverb goes like this. Say, Eji onye isi zọtara n'ụkwụ, ya si ya gacha, ya pụta, ya tụtụrụ ya. Olee otu nne ya ga-ezi ya ma ọ nata? That pretty much says the blind person that went out hunting for snail at night. Luckily for him, he stepped on a very big one. He says, you know what? Let me go. When I come back, I'll pick it up. Who's going to show it to him when he comes back? Right? First of all, the snail moves slowly through, but it moves away, and this person cannot see anyway. So it's better he picks up that snail when his feet, by serendipity, he found that snail. So that's where we are today. We've got an election that has a team that can solve the problem. That's one thing. If they're equally yoked, maybe we just let Tinubu get in there. But they're not equally yoked. The team, Baba Ahmed and Peter Obi, will solve our problem in that country. They will begin it. We have enormous problems, but they will begin it with the help of Nigerians. So we are like that blind person who stumbled on that snail. We have to pick it up now. If you don't pick them up now your mama Toto go show them to you when you come back, when you cannot see. We can't be afraid. The country is like in a war zone already. A lot of people, I don't know, say don't talk, make I no use one person die. I don't know how to say it, buy or whatever. A lot of people already, it's like a war zone there. So I promise you that I will touch on your class warfare thing. But, to Nigeria, we have to have some class. We have to have some class in that country. If you checked in the United States, when they were fighting their own class warfare, I don't know if you're familiar with what they called Occupy Wall Street.
It is not class warfare. It's about
Hold on.
patriotism. I don't know why you're mangling the discussion.
No, hold on. Let me land.
I'm not telling him to give up his wealth.
Okay, hold on.
That is class warfare.
Right. If you're telling him how to spend his money, or you're showing flashy cars and you're showing people
That's
enjoying.
nationalism. If
Now,
you have anything against nationalism, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
but
you
don't
want
call it class warfare.
You want us to have a mini debate. Let me just set up the parameters, then we'll have a mini debate. As a host, I know you like to talk a lot and you want to talk, and that's fair. But debate me on the issue, but at least get where I'm coming from. Right?
And I hope you get where I'm coming from too. That's what I'm trying
No,
to
but
get to
if you
understand.
look
Not
at
making the class warfare issue.
I'm going to tell you, let me tell you why it's futile to make the argument you're making. In the United States, for example, let's go historical now. Let's have academic debate like you like to talk about. Okay. It's when you have traitors to their class. That's what brought America the things they're enjoying right now. In those days, in the 1900s, say 1901, you have the Roosevelts, Theodore Roosevelt. These are wealthy people. And then his cousin, FDR, right? So these are wealthy people, but they were able to put together things that will make America progress. They looked out for the poor, for the worker. Because right after that industrial revolution, when you had railroads going all over the place, in order not to take too much time, when Theodore Roosevelt assumed office, he was a progressive. Are you familiar with the names I'm mentioning, by the way?
Yeah, I know
Okay,
Theodore
so
Roosevelt.
the Roosevelts, they're wealthy, but he instituted a suit against J.P. Morgan's Northern Securities Company, a behemoth railroad trust, and moved against such trusts like oil, sugar, tobacco, just like you have, for example, Dangote. People like that. So this Roosevelt, Theodore, was able to give Americans what they call a square deal for the workers, and warned against the evils of concentrated capital. So I'm saying that to tell you that if you have to be classy when you are debating such things. That's not what we're here to do. If you show a picture of Obi visiting somebody throwing a birthday party, there's something you're saying there. This is a private citizen. He has the right to live anywhere. He's not a government official. He ran for office, yeah, but you didn't vote for him. He's out. There are a lot of things to criticize Dele Momodu for. Don't get me wrong. He picked the wrong side in this battle, in these 2023 elections. And he played a bad role. There are a lot of things to criticize him for. We all needed to galvanize all these people to bring our country forward. He didn't do that.
So are you saying you're against Peter B telling him that maybe this is the type of stuff we want to be doing in our country?
I'm not making a judgment call on that. He shouldn't. P2B should not be a party pooper. This guy is enjoying his party, his birthday party, right? That's
so
not. Hold on.
Come and spend your money. It's better to be doing these things in your country.
Well, I don't think that
but
is.
Being a nationalist, and you want a good leader in your country.
I do. Listen to what I'm saying. We are going to make the country good by having some class. I just told you the kind of battle you have to fight when it comes to the class issues.
What is more classy than appreciating your own?
No, that's not appreciated because you don't have security in the company, in the country. You have to find out from Dele Momodu why. Hold on. Answer me this. You have to know that Dele Momodu is a rational actor. Let's say you ask him, Dele, why are you throwing your party in? By the way, I don't really want to have this conversation. I came here for the 29th term, but let me indulge you a little bit as a host. You have to ask Dele Momodu, why are you throwing your party in London? What if he says to you, because I have security here? I can't go in the midst of poor people who don't have a bite to eat and I'll be throwing a lavish party. Maybe his company threw a party for him. Maybe his family threw a party for him. Maybe that's not even his style. Okay, but he has to be there. He has a lot of friends, right? He can't lower his standard because Nigerians don't want to get it right. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't throw a party like that. I wouldn't associate with people with all these Ferraris and everything enjoying when our country is going to hell, right? But a reasonable person could. You don't know the whole story. P2B made the statement, yes, yeah, it could go either way. That's not why I'm supporting P2B, because he's religious, or he doesn't enjoy parties or whatever, or he's concerned about people bringing their wealth home. You want people to bring wealth home? Make the country safe. Be fair. Nobody is going to enjoy
Can I
parties.
ask you a question then?
Yeah.
Are you in support of your leaders going overseas for treatment?
Yeah, I've heard you make all that statement all the time. That is none of my business. It creates it creates opportunity for me, if I'm a medical doctor, to go and build the best hospital in Nigeria and have them come to me. They are rational actors. If you give us security, right, make sure that doctors that come home do their work are not killed, they're going to build hospitals. So you have to look at, why do we have the problems? We can solve all these problems that you're concerned about within a short period of time if you do the right thing. You cannot dictate to people to say, love this country. You cannot do that.
Everything you just said just now,
yeah,
is what is happening now. They have the freedom that they're having, and look at what we've got to show for it.
No.
Country,
You don't have security.
Life expectancy. Hold on. Why would they give you security when they have security overseas? Are you not the one that just said it? You just said it.
What did you say?
You just said Momodu may be doing the party overseas because he had security there. Why would they care about the security in Nigeria when all your leaders have security overseas?
Yeah,
not their security anyway, by the way. Security of other men that provided it for them.
I know, but what business is Dele Momodu responsible for security in Nigeria? He's not elected to any office.
He's one of the leaders. He was running for presidency.
No, he's not. I mean, if you're saying Buhari, yes, it's a different argument. He is a private citizen. Don't make me defend. Don't make me defend. Don't make me defend.
I was one of the people that was on the panel with him when he was running for president.
Yeah, but he didn't have an office. In essence, in order for you to have power, power comes with responsibility. Aspiration, trying to run for office, does not.
Mr. Pamsat, sorry to interject you.
Sure.
You know what he's trying to say now? He's trying to tell you that if he was a compatriot and somebody, before you vie for that kind of position, you should be a compatriot, somebody that believes in your country. And if he believes in it, he should try as much as possible to bring resources down to gradually make that process work, and people will see him as an example on that aspect. But on the aspect of what you are saying now, I understand it, and I understand both of you are right. But when we talk about being patriotic, we need to put that into place and do that patriotism, because this state is going down. We are seeing it going down.
Right, exactly. That's to Nigeria. Let's just wrap up that area by saying this. Like he said, there's no daylight between you and I. We want patriotism in Nigeria, right? And things made at home. But the point is that you don't do it by fiat. You can't order people to be patriotic. Patriotism is going to start, let's say right now, we are fair. We do the right thing. When people went out there, the masses really, they were cajoled. Go out there and register, vote, try to take your country back. And they listened and they went and they did that. Okay. So the laws passed, Electoral Act 2022. So the right thing to do to gather more patriotism is to make sure that these things are in place. Do you know what's going to happen if all this generation that went out to vote that didn't know this is the way this country has always been? Do you know how you're going to dash a lot of people's hopes? They're going to leave the country and they won't care. Don't go trying to build a castle on sand. I mean, patriotism has to start from the country being fair, caring about their people. If they do that, believe me, Dele Momodu knows that his party is better in Nigeria than where he's thrown that party. Right? We have to be fair. People that killed Deborah need to be apprehended and prosecuted. Those Chibok girls.
But that is all the way in the north. Nigerians can host party anywhere, many parts of Nigeria without any fear of security issues at all. Hold on.
No, I don't know that.
Areas of Lagos, there are areas of Lagos that are extremely secure.
No, I'm not gonna pass it like that, because violence doesn't pick ways. It's serendipitous. It can happen anywhere. There's no place, even in obviously in overseas, here in the United States, there's violence, random violence, right? But what we're talking about, what you're not gonna sit there to debate is that Nigeria is secure. Nigeria is not secure. Not only that, the state itself is the main culprit, right? We're being governed by terrorists. We're being governed by people who don't mean. Do you know there's no country in this world, even in war zones, that you're gonna go and kidnap or take 300 girls from a secondary school and they're just gone forever? Nobody's prosecuted. You go to Benue Plateau, people are getting killed daily, sometimes dozens, scores. Nobody's being prosecuted. It's like, hey, when they talk about it, it's like what we're going to do the next time.
Yeah, so where are the leaders putting all their money? These leaders that are not doing the job they are supposed to be doing, where do you think they go for treatment? You said they are okay to be going traveling because they don't feel any security threat, because when they need their security, they can fly overseas. When they need treatment, they can travel overseas. Their children can go and school overseas. Why would
right? That's why we have to do something about it now. Okay, everybody waited to see if we're gonna get electoral revolution. Okay, if after on the 29th, if you're a true Nigerian with blood in your system, you have to take this country back. You have to. That's it. When we come here next time, we should be talking about what should we do? How do we take it back? That's what. It's not a question of are we going to take it back.
I gave you some prescriptions already.
Yeah, Madam Rita wants to say something.
Mr. Pastor, even if you say we should discuss about what are we going to do, there's a lot of things that we cannot say on air. What Nigerians are supposed to do. I think every Nigerians know what to do. Like I said, how much does the pain really pinch you? That you say, you know what, I want to take off the shoes. Are you going to still bear the pain? So that's, I'm still going back to what I was saying initially. Are Nigerians really ready? And even if we have plans, we cannot say it out in the air, Mr. Pansat. We can't.
Exactly. I agree 100%. I agree.
I think Nigerians know the answers too, but people are just scared, people are just saying, okay, still having some kind of faith in the judiciary that they will just do something, or maybe, like I said, maybe some immaculate divine intervention will just come up and something will happen. I don't know.
We're gonna get that too. Let me address those who are afraid. Okay,
they say he who has hearing, let him hear. I gave a prescription here. Nobody questioned that prescription. Nobody decided, but they just want to go like a freight train to the direction that they've never seen work before. If you want to do what has been repeatedly done and failed, go ahead and try that. You have to be creative. You have to think outside the box. Don't just do what your instinct tells you to do, because that's the normal stuff. And that's the condition we have. Because they condition us to do those things because they know it's going to fail. That's why they condition us to do those things.
What did you prescribe? What did you prescribe?
What I prescribed was that I prescribed that Labour is not an honorary party. Labour is linked to almost all the trade unions in Nigeria. They can use that instrument to forestall most of these things that we want done. If you control millions of workers, who is going to fly the plane that those leaders are taking to run overseas all the time? Are they going to force them? Even under Abacha, these unions were torturing Abacha too. Who is going to allow universities to go without this thing? If this in the Labour Party with Peter Obi and his followers championing these things, want to hold the country hostage, they can. Like the unions actually do. ASU was able to shut university down for 9 months in Nigeria. That's without Peter Obi at all. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. In speaking about the union, that's a good suggestion, but do you know why it will not work? I'm not trying to be negative or be a prophet of doom of some sort. The reason why it won't work is because what is the demography of Nigerian workers under a union? You first of all, let's just say, for example, my state, Edo State. We have teachers union, trade union, right? It's not everybody that's under a union. If you want to say, okay, all the pilots now in Nigeria, okay, you're under the union, nobody's flying any plane. Hello, there's going to be private pilots that don't belong to any union. They don't pay any union dues. Those ones will go for the job. They will even pay them double. So that's why it's, Nigeria is such an entity that Even if you feel that everything is nationalistic, it's not. There will still be the other half. That's just the way our country is wired. The other half that will still move on like nothing is going on. The other half that want to take advantage of the disadvantage of the other half. So that's why I said if you feel that the labor, because the Labour Party is kind of affiliated with the labor union, even within the leadership of the labor union, they are still sellouts. So
Yes, and that is
come
what
to
needs to change. That's why I
brother.
said with Peter Obi's followers, they can take over those organizations and ensure the organizations do what they are meant to do.
Yeah. So before they even come to that agreement to say, okay, let us speak to the entire nation, they see part of the executive will disagree because part of the executive will be under the auspices of Agbado. Maybe his brother or sister works at Agbado and working in the union, or maybe somebody has an appointment there, so they will not
They
want
vote
to.
him out now. Peter Obi has more followers. They will vote them out.
My brother,
It's a democratic union.
if you say they will vote them out, it's like we're building castles in the air. They will vote them out. How? Peter, what
By
part
numbers, Peter Obi has followers in Nigeria. Peter Obi has millions of followers. All he has to do is express his wish, and these things will be done. This is the thing. And that's why I'm so happy that Peter Obi is in Labour Party. Is uniquely gifted with some of all this because these organizations created the Labour Party. NLC created the Labour Party.
if we don't get involved, I think this obedient movement has gotten to a lot of people to realize that. I think it was Mr. Pazza that said that, or even Sir Alex, we need to get involved. Like, for example, belong to a political party, because if you don't, you can only sit back and talk and criticize those people who are the heads of the labor union, the Labour Party. But many people don't want to get involved because of how will I put it now? The kinds of things. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. The kinds of things that go on within these associations, both physical and spiritual. There's a lot of people that don't want to get involved based on their own personal experiences or experiences from their fathers. So see, Nigeria is such a very unique entity where you have to be aggressive for people to get it. These unions you're talking about, do you know it's like a cartel? The way I talked about the electricity cartel in Nigeria. It's a cartel. It's not something you can just come in or get involved. Okay, Nigerian youths now start registering under the labor union. First of all, they will tell you, I cannot be paying the dues. How do you pay the dues? Market union, they pay dues. Everybody who's working under the ministry or some sort of the university, they deduct dues from their pay every month. But some people now would say, I don't want to join because my father is not in the ministry. I don't work there.
Some people will say they don't want to join. Half may not join. But remember, what I'm talking about are the ones that they already control. I'm not talking about proverbial ones. I'm talking about the ones they already control that actually force federal government not to remove subsidies. They have power.
Is a good suggestion, but is it going to be effective? They have power, but you forget something. The government also has power. The government can
Let me. Yeah, by the way, you tackled that very well,
seen
Rita.
the
Look,
government
to
back
Niger,
off
to Niger.
for the unions multiple
We had
times.
Baba Ahmed speak. There's a video that's being played here almost every day. In that video, that's where we are. Okay. Tinubu did not win this election, and it's very, very clear. I am saying that he didn't even win a single state. I've told you that before. He did not win. Baba Ahmed has said it. Hold on.
Why would you say something like that?
Hold on. Baba Ahmed has said it in his video. He says you cannot swear somebody in unconstitutionally. That if you do that, then you have shred that constitution. Now, Baba Ahmed was very clear. Not just Peter, but Baba Ahmed made it very clear the processes that are going to come very soon. We have court tomorrow. We're just talking about this to begin to get people psychologically prepared for what's about to happen. We know that the Nigerian government, especially President Buhari and his people, have no respect whatsoever for the Nigerian. He has no respect whatsoever. He's not afraid of anything, right? So, but the land has been drawn on the sand. Go and listen to what Baba Ahmed said again, because that's exactly where it's at. Nothing taken away from that thing at all. Nothing added to it. He elucidated exactly what's going to happen if they try to do an unconstitutional swearing in, of which if it's a formidable federal government and his cabal, very formidable. That's true. Very powerful with the weapons and the army. But you also have, on this other hand, Peter Obi and Baba Ahmed and the Labour Party and the Obedience are well-meaning Nigerians, Muslims, Christians, Northerners, Southerners, Easterners, Westerners, who are determined to make sure that whoever won this election should take office. So that is the big picture. A lot of people cannot say anything right now, obviously, because there's still a chance, small chance, but there's a chance that the judiciary could come in, intervene, and save the country. Okay, so but it's sacrosanct that if somebody didn't win the election, you just can't use the might of the federal government to impose that person on the country, like INEC is trying to do. That's not going to work. And Baba Ahmed was very careful, and he said exactly what needs to be said. So I want you to play that video as often as you can to Niger. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody was saying that they use private pilots. who is gonna be in the air traffic control? Is it not a human being? Good luck landing all by yourself. See, if people really wanted to cause trouble, and I think maybe that's why the other side is a little bit uneasy. Maybe they have already beginning to realize what I just realized recently, that the fact that P2B is in Labour Party could be a problem. The fact that P2B has the moral mandate right now, that he has the ears of the people that mean well for the country, is a big problem, because they could, if no matter how they do it, he could cause a lot of trouble for them either way. If he's in part of Labour Party and links up with all the influence he has in Labour Party and links up with the unions and everything that they are doing, they could stop a lot of nonsense that is going on. Because I know the government listens to the unions, or maybe they are in cahoots, as some people say, but they work hand in hand. Whenever the trade union says, you know what, you want to touch subsidies, we are going to go on the streets and we're going to shut down everything in the country, the government backs off. This has happened repeatedly. ASU, we've seen it happen. So they actually do have power. Can you imagine something the entire country supports? Like this idea of our leaders keep going overseas for treatment and all. Because when they go overseas, why would they care about the healthcare system in Nigeria? They won't care. If you make a strong case about it and say, this is beyond personal freedom, this is nationalism, you have to put our nation first. We have a life expectancy of 53 years. We have to stop this. I'm telling you, you are going to win support in the country beyond what the ASU lecturer has got. And they will back you, and they will stop these leaders from messing about. And that will change the mindset of Nigerians. Because now their focus is Nigeria. Nigeria first, Nigeria first. And that is what you need. Because now all the leaders that are passing the laws, anything they want to do, they have to be forced to think of Nigeria first. Instead of every time, whenever they do one thing, oh, I'm tired, I need to go run overseas. Oh, I'm tired, I need to run to Washington. And they are bragging about how they go overseas all the time. This is very unusual. And history suggests that if you do this, your people will perish. It's just that simple. Anybody that goes and studies history, look at the demise of Buddhism in India, look at the fall of Cleopatra, look at just history. It's replete with people that have just cut out from their own nation to go and try to join with other nations. They get destroyed. There's no thank you about it. You will get destroyed eventually. Because people, you can't be the original. The original is already the original. You can try to copy the original as much as you want. The original will just swallow you whole. We've seen it happen over and over again. We cannot be complacent about these things. Nigeria deserves to be put first. Is that a controversial point anymore? One of the richest countries in the world, with one of the worst life expectancy rates in the world. It shouldn't be controversial at all. We have to put Nigeria first. If we have to take, do you know how strident action that other people take? In Russia, after the Second World War, there are soldiers, Russian soldiers, that were captured, and they brought them back to Russia. You know what they did first to them? They put them in camps, in prison, to make sure they didn't get like brainwashed by Western propaganda. Their own soldiers. That's how nationalistic they are. They don't play around. So if you don't take yourself seriously compared to the way other people take themselves seriously, how do you think you're going to win this struggle in this world? You might as well give up right now because they are going to win. We don't have any chance in this world.
So, Niger, in all of this, in all the things that you've said, it's caused by a cumulative effect of bad leadership. When Nigeria has decided to put somebody like Peter Gregory Obi as their president, then you start to see a lot of changes. But as long as we don't have somebody with the ideology like Peter Obi, all these changes, nationalism, patriotism, love for country and all that sacrifice, that's not going to happen. Because the body language of the person who is controlling the engine will determine how the vehicle is going to move. That person is going to, that's just what it is. So all of these things that we are saying, everybody knows the right thing to do. Everybody knows how, believe or understands how a country should be run, right? But we're all coming back to square one, leadership. And that's why we are in this struggle of May 29th. Bola Ahmed Tinubu not be a president. He should not be the president. Nigerians right now, I think what we should be preaching to every single Nigerian, there's no excuse of I don't have data, I don't have electricity. If you don't have electricity today, tomorrow you will have. If you don't have data for your phone today, tomorrow you will have. If they are going to the beer parlor or the clubs or whatever, you can celebrate. Nobody's saying you shouldn't live your life. But please know your environment. So our duty is to start educating people the consequences of what's going to happen on May 29th. They need to, Nigerians don't know the consequences. We all know how we arrived where we are today. We know how we arrived with all the cheating and the stealing, and the intimidation. But if May 29th comes and we allow this nonsense crap to happen, Nigerians need to realize the implications and what it means. Many Nigerians, I would say, 70 or 80% of Nigerians don't know the implication of May 29th. They don't. That's my submission for now.
Many of them don't. And I think there's this thing that is going on in Nigeria now, from my own experience. When I was in Nigeria 5 years ago, I said it earlier on, the people on the ground were more like I think they represent some of the people you described today, where many of them are suffering. They are looking for every opportunity to succeed and do stuff. But then after 2 years or so, you see that the development in the country was beginning to move. Then boom, this COVID-19 hit and the jackpot, this thing started. What you find is that you find a lot of people that work from home now in Nigeria. They are working for people overseas. So if you have a company in Nigeria, you're competing with people overseas now. Not to mention those are the ones in Nigeria. Not to mention the ones that are leaving and the ones that are planning to leave too. I know 3 people that have left that have trained in Nigeria. 3. That is only me. Tiny me. So it tells you the trend that is going on in Nigeria, the people that should be on the street, they are on their way out, or they are working for people overseas, or they are already out. That's what is going on, especially in the south. I don't know what's going on in the north. I'm telling you from my own experience of what I'm seeing on the ground. So who is next? Patricia, are you there? Patricia wasn't there the last time we second round. Mama Hecho, are you still there?
I am here, but talk on. I'm listening only.
Okay, you're listening. Okay, thank you. Mama Hecho, are you there? Mama Hecho is away for now. And Nelly hasn't said anything at all. Nelly, welcome. What have you got to add to the discussion? Thank you for coming in. Nelly, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I'm listening.
Okay, you're listening. Okay.
For now.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you for coming in. Black Panther is you next, isn't it? Yeah, Black Panther, go ahead. We are sounding very much alike these days, Black Panther. Yeah, you are sounding very much alike.
No, sorry for that. Thanks for calling me in, and thanks to all the speakers that have spoken, and thanks to all the guys that are watching. I call everyone a patriot. You are doing a good service to your father, motherland, and we have to continue doing it. We can't be on the ground, but we have to, be the voice to the voiceless, and then try to, make them awaken and get up in their sleeping bed and fight. Nigeria is in a dire state now, and to Nigeria, the reason why we're almost talking the same line now, because I told you that what you'll be speaking then might not mean, might not speak to the lower guy down there. You got to try to, go gradually until they'll come to realization that the bedrock of our problem is that we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in our culture. We don't believe in that we should have our own, call it our own, and sell it to the world. That is where the development will start from. Until we get that, we cannot start a journey. But now, the first thing we do first is to get the right man there, then the education starts from there. Because if we don't get the right man there, we'll just start preaching, like what the African heroes preach, but couldn't get in because power was available, but you cannot get the power. Well, if you get the power, you start from there, you build up and you start educating and putting in from school, impact them with real African style. We just got to do that because the world has left us. The Asians are built, they call them the Asian tigers because they build their own, they believe in their own, and everybody the other part of the world have seen them. Oh, we got to go there and see what we can learn from there. And because they believe in themselves, they have built up technology and they are selling to the entire world. They are competing with America, competing with Britain, and competing with other countries that are there. You see, the same thing the Indians they did. They got inside and they start building from there. They were regarded as, the poorest, not that they don't still have poor people, but they be able to build that thing and build a democracy that have lasted long years, but they got it right in this century, and now they are manufacturing their own. So we got to now do what? Have the power, putting right in there, PO, then we start to do what? Educate. Then the re-education starts, and then we start to create our own constitution. Not the adulterated 1963 or whereabout. We'll create our own kind of democracy that will work, and everybody will deem it, be happy with it. It cannot be perfect, but we can be able to hand over something tangible that they can call their own to the next generation. That is what we are fighting now. If we lose it, if we lose it, we just keep on have to continue to fight. We just got to continue to fight. There's nothing there because many nations, America fought for several years, decades to get it right. We just got to come to fight because until we get these leaders out, we continue to shift them out, we continue to expose them, we bring them out until we get that thing that makes them, then that thing that makes them catch that thing, then we can be able to do, put them aside and put them where they need to be, and that is the prison yard. From there, Nigeria need to start building prison, a lot of prison, good prisons that will accommodate these guys, because now we are short of prisons because they are multiplying every day. Their kids are coming up, and we have not gotten hold of what we need to get hold. So we got to find Nigeria got to stand up, and I pray the court case concerning how to stop the 29th inauguration, I guess I don't know how far that case is. And I pray that case get to a say that the judge will put a hold on it. You can't swear in something that is not constitutional. And I said it that every one of us should go back and listen to the labor, our vice president, the labor. We got to I was so glad that Sister Rita came up, and when she said she listened to one part and she knew, she got to think. And this one, we got to get that. That's the message that we awaken everybody's spirit. We need to get awakened like a lion now, because that message he gave, he knew that we don't have a constitution, but he tried to say, this one we have. Okay, let's say we have this one now. Are we going to stand and let it be broken after so many things they've done for us? Nothing they have not done to us. Nothing they've not done to our Nigerians. So this one that they want to go to this, if they do it, it's as well as, allowing the military to take over. That's how I read it. And I've already said, and I stood my ground. If nobody likes it, people reject it. The people that said they will fight for the constitution, they are there. We don't know their mindset. And I know that they can never be 100% bought over. It's not possible. I came from that family. I know it is not possible to get 100%. No matter how you profit into their means, no matter how you bring this, it is not possible to 100%, and not all, even them, that they will not agree to throw away the constitution that made them be, that put them in the position to defend the country as a whole from external forces.
Can I ask you something? Do you think the court will go, they will keep adjourning this thing without making any decision on anything regarding the case till past 29th?
The court, you know who, before I get to the answer, I will tell you something. Do you know who is constraining the court? It is the lawyers. The lawyers that know the truth of the truth, but they don't want to say the truth. They are the one putting adjournment, because those people sitting on that, those judges there, it is what you give them. No matter how they compromise, if the lawyers decide to go this way and they decide, you see the case will be fast enough. But now, what they brought, they might not be able to meet it, the next one. They might even postpone it again. Because if INEC does not come out with what they requested for, and there's no punishment to it, that's the problem of our judiciary, our laws. There's no punishment. Look at Agbado. Contempt of court, they have not arrested him. The court has not given order for arrest.
Was there a contempt of court situation against him?
They don't need to bring it. It is the judge that will bring it. They don't need to bring it. If you refuse to go to court, they'll raise the case. They'll raise that portion of the constitution up, and they'll get you arrested.
Okay, but I fear that
you don't need any lawyer to say.
Don't you think that
the judge that will say it?
Don't you think that it will be too much for the judges? I just hope
it's
the
not
judges.
Too much. It's just a constitution.
What I'm saying about you hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying about this is that, is it not too risky? Yeah, that for me, if I'm the judge, if any judge is listening, you better listen to this. Don't you think it's crazy to keep adjourning this thing? Not because you're hearing it, just keep adjourning.
No, it's not risky. You know why it's not risky? You know why it's not risky? You know why it's not risky? It has been a culture. It has been a culture in Nigeria to adjourn for 2 years. Then finally the case will come up after they might have corrupt and get to even the person that brought the case. You remember Buhari and PDP for 2 years. So they are used to it.
Black Panther, if you say that it's been a culture, is it really right though? Or we're just listening to the...
You don't understand me. You don't understand. When I say it's a culture, it's not that it's right. I'm saying this is what they have been used to. That is why they will play along.
Okay.
Okay.
But the culture was changed now. They reformed the law so that the tribunal period will be shorter. They shortened it, but
Not
not
exactly.
enough, obviously.
Reform the law, but did not reform the processes, and that's what
God
Olisa.
bless you, Madam Rita.
The processes are kind of obsolete. It's dragging, and that's why Olisa Bakoba said there's no point. This thing can be solved prior to May 29th. Within 7 days, he said. I mean, you look at what the petition says. Look at what the law says. Even if you have like 4 or 5 people, like PDP, a Labour Party, and other people like contesting these things, and whatever it is that they are going against is kind of similar. You use the law and interpret it. It's
Sister
straightforward,
Rita,
rocket science.
Sister
And
Rita,
you know what that does?
Sister
Hold on, let
Rita,
me just add
sorry to
this. You know,
interject.
this is an important point. This is an important point I wanted to make. You know what that does? If there is a law that is passed that says any case that is facing coming after election should be tried, should be completed maybe within 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks. You know what that does? The election process now will be made to be more precise so that they know it shouldn't go past. So they will do better in the election process to clean it up. You see
Do
what
you
I
know
mean? So,
what the
and I think
son
they should do
said about
like
that
that.
thing you are saying now? Do you know what your learned son, the great
Yeah,
son in quote that they call great, Femi Falana said? Because he
yeah.
reacted to Agbakuba 7 days. He said, it is virtually impossible because this is what we're giving to us, and we have to go step by step by step. He's talking about the colonial thing that they gave us. We don't want to do our own, we don't want to change and have our own judiciary that we call our own. That is why we are in this state. They've told them several times that we cannot work with what was handed over to us. Go and look at the penal code of this. The laws that is guiding the police. They said they are reforming. They've not really reformed the police. The police, we are still using colonial laws on the police. You can see everything is shattered.
They always slow walk everything, pretend as if they are making change, but nothing changes. If anything, things are getting worse. And this is why we have to be very, very deliberate and have milestones, something that is clear that you win. Because all these, I'm going to move here, this one move here, then they make something worse on the other side. It's not going to work. And but I really think my instinct is that these judges they will be taking a grave risk to go past 29th of May without passing one judgment. All we could get is adjournment. They'll be taking a very grave risk to do that. And I think it's a little bit irresponsible. You can't tell me you can't decide FCT. Before what kind of argument are you having? That's ridiculous. You can decide it within a day. So I get a feeling that something will be passed. There has to be something that is passed in the coming days before the election. So have you finished Black Panther? Okay, I think that Black Panther has finished. And One Love, welcome. You haven't said anything all day, so I take it that you've been watching us. Have you been watching us? And if you have something to add to it, you're welcome to do that now.
Good evening to Nigeria. No, I just actually joined you guys. I'm not quite sure what you guys were up to.
Yeah,
But it
I
appears
think we are now. We are talking about something else before now, but you didn't see the video, so it wouldn't be fair on you to talk about it. But we are now talking about the possible judgment that should be coming down the line. The question is, do you believe that these judges, with all the adjustment they've done so far, they've not decided on one thing regarding the actual tribunal case, other than not letting cameras in, and they're looking to take devices off people's hands now? Do you think they are willing to go past 29th and they just keep adjourning past 29th? Or you think that they are going to pass at least some judgment before the 29th?
okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and to you guys in the panel, and everyone who is listening from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. I just want to say, I'm not sure which of the days here. I believe it was this week or so. I was on Niger Watch, and I also said, for me, the issue really is the court. I just feel they are just going to keep kicking this.
Sorry, we lost one love. I wonder what.
I think one love is off. Yeah. All right. Okay. Who is next? You know me. Only me. Okay. It's Rita. Rita is Rita's thought has come back. Rita. What do you think? Do you think these people will just keep kicking it to the long grass? Don't you think that that's extremely risky on their part?
Sorry, I don't. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the judgment, the court case. Would they keep pushing it, adjourning it past the 29th? Because personally, I think that it's extremely risky for them, even if they are like bought and paid for. But to take it past 29th is very, very risky for them to do.
Okay, see, the reality of what's going on now, so far within the past few weeks, is preliminary um, expose on what is going to look like when the trial starts. So everything that's happening now, I think they just want to put things in place prior to the May 29th, just in case that man comes in and tries to influence the process. So I think they want to just seal everything down in such a way that it cannot be changed or altered. um like we said yesterday, Peter, the Labour Party has said they have 50 weaknesses, and every other party have weaknesses and the number of weeks in which they require. So the real trial hasn't started, and that's what people need to understand. The real trial hasn't started. Tomorrow, that's Monday, I think is the final preliminary session. Is the final one before they'll now decide, okay, let us start the trial. Now, as things are going on now, I don't know if there's a motion for the judges to halt the inauguration on May 29th. I haven't really gotten that clear. I know a lot of people are saying it, they're speaking it, they're acting, but is it actually a process in the court to halt the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 29th? That I am not clear on that, so I can't really speak on that. But definitely, they're going to, whatever the outcome is tomorrow, we're not going to get any final judgment. If that's what people are waiting for, that's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not. And the only thing that will probably happen tomorrow, they'll probably adjourn something to probably Wednesday or Friday. That's what.
No. That would be too much. Come on, they can't be adjourning it. This is what is so hard. You see, if Kenya can do it within a couple of weeks, what are they doing?
Yeah,
What are
please,
they
let's
adjourning?
go there. Let's not talk about Kenya. We need to be telling Nigeria this is what is happening. It's not about. Let's not. We already know what's going on in other parts of the world, right? But what is going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow is the final preliminary case. They're just looking at different filing and all that, and they're putting things together. Tomorrow we would hear what the judge will have to say, and I can bet you they will tell you, okay, we're going to sit on either it can be Tuesday, it could be Wednesday, it could be Friday, on what they have to say. And then people are already talking about weaknesses, so that's telling you that this is going to be like a trial after 29th. But they want to set everything, they want to set the table so that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu has any influence, the table has already been set. They cannot change anything. I think that's what the Labour Party is scrambling and PDP is scrambling to set. They want to set the table that cannot be altered or changed after
Where
29.
did you get this information that they are doing this? Because from
That's
the
what
way
it
you were
is.
sounding before, you were sounding like they are trying to manipulate it past the 29th. But from what you are saying, it appears to be a deliberate ploy. Sorry, I can't hear you. Your mic is going down. What happened to your mic suddenly? Is it me or is she not sounding very clear?
Is everyone hearing me?
We can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay,
I
and
don't know about others.
okay. What I was trying to say is, I kid you not. And based on what I have been hearing, based on what we've been seeing, what the judges have been saying and the Labour Party, tomorrow is just the final stage of the preliminary case, right? What's going to happen tomorrow whatever it is, they're going to announce that, okay, we're going to start the case possibly Tuesday or even Friday. We're not going to get any judgment. I pray, like I said, there's nothing God cannot do. I pray before the 29th, we'll get a final judgment. But however, this is an appeal court. Whatever the appeal court says as judgment, let's say they make a judgment on Friday to say, okay, based on all that information, we hereby declare that Peter the Rock will be won or whatever. They're still going to go on with it, but they'll just file an appeal to the Supreme Court. So we need to just get that. We need to get that alert in our minds that whatever the appeal court is going to say between now and the 20th, the 29th is the other week, Monday, right? Between whatever they say this week, right? There's going to be an appeal of some sort, and whatever they want to do will still happen. But God is going to intervene somehow. I don't know, but let us get that so that we don't get it. We need to understand. We need to understand
Your line
consequences.
is going in and out. I'm sorry, your line is going in and out.
Are you?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's going in and out. Except it's on my end. I don't know. Black Panther, is it happening on your end too? Because it's fading in and out her mic. I just want to be clear that it's not only me that is experiencing it.
I am hearing you very clearly.
Yeah, sometimes I'm hearing you now.
She was breaking before. I think she's clear now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, before. Oh my goodness. I mean, you guys didn't hear what I said.
No, we heard what you said.
Okay, I was just the 29th, it's going to come and go. Whatever they say, let's say the appeal court judge says, okay, my president won, Peter Obi won, and all that. It's still going to go on because these people will file an appeal to the Supreme Court. That's what's going to happen. So that's why.
But they've not gotten to that stage now.
I'm just saying it, paraventure.
Okay.
Tomorrow is the last day of the preliminary, right? Okay, when they last whatever the case be, maybe they will adjourn it to Tuesday or let's say Friday, possibly as evil as they are, they will say Friday. That's how evil, or if they might even say 29th. They might even say 29th.
Come on, stop it.
Look, let me say what let me elaborate on what you said. Look, there's no judgment that will come because the preface has just been set, and the rule, just like you're setting the rules on how you are going to go about the case, you are getting all the fact. Have you gotten your fact? The judge will ask, have you gotten this? They will say, oh, INEC did not release this, that they will give all the INEC release. It was okay. Which side are we going to start on? The judge will speak on it. They are just trying to set the preface now on the platform where they are going to start on. That is why the Labour Party said they are going to have they are going to have 50 weakness or thereabout. So I think they are going to agree on that too. They are going to agree on that because anything you put forward now, you got to agree with it. Then they will not set up whether it's 30 minutes or 20 minutes. They are going to examine whether 30 minutes from the prosecutors, all those ones, they are going to set it on and the judge will agree. If they don't agree, they will vote on it. They just want to set the pace for the main case, so the main case now to start. So when they set it up, they will not start up.
Black Panther, let me just question that a little bit with some logical comparison. Are we saying that somebody that is less power, that is unpowered as Abado before he got into office? Like, let's say he gets into office on 29. He gets into office. He wasn't into office. He was able to rig the election at this massive scale. If I saw the influence of that man during the period where Erofai is defying the president. They are using DSS to want to arrest Emefiele and all the rest of it.
I know where you are going to.
Hold on now. If he has this much power, you think there's anything that they will fix that cannot be unfixed?
No. Agbado, look, let me tell you, people are scared. Look, when Agbado gets to power, let me tell you, he's the president. Immunity is there. But one thing there is that immunity does not stop him, does not stop the court from saying, you are not the president, get out. Immunity is not there. He cannot touch the process anymore. His hand is off it, because if he touched it, he won chaos, he won the fight.
What if he gets one of the judges arrested or bribed or whatever?
For nobody's going to get. Why are we saying that one? Nobody's going to get arrested. The main thing he has done, he has already. If he wants to give money, it's now that he's not in power. He's not in power yet that he can give money. But after he gets into there, He can no longer, touch anything except his
just trying to
concubine.
question the idea that they are affirming everything, because personally, I feel that it's problematic for the court not to make one decision from February or so till May, ending of May. They didn't make one decision.
They cannot make decision now because the process, your judicial process is like that now. That's why I'm telling you that I need to be changed. People don't understand judicial process.
The next time you have to finish this kind of court case before you sue any president. It has to be short.
It's not in our constitution. You cannot bring it. It's not in our constitution.
They changed it once, they can change it again. So
they not go do anything. These people were there for power.
See, when we keep saying they won't do anything, why do you think they did it before? They did it once before. They are going to do it again. You have to be positive and lean forward to make a change.
See, what is there is like this. People send wrong information out there. They will tell you that, if he comes in, he's going to remove the chief judge. He doesn't have that power. People talk sometimes. I just listen to it and laugh. He doesn't have that power to remove him. He can only remove a chief judge if he said, chief judge stole money. On that premises, you can remove him. But this chief judge has not stolen anything. I can't remove him.
If Abado is in, let's say, I don't like calling him.
No, talking about
if Tinubu is in office, and he wants to break any law, he will break it. The only people that can stop him is technically the military.
That is what I'm telling you now. People don't want to hear that part. People don't want to hear that part, and that part is true. If you break down any constitution or you make the country lawless, what is the stand of the military? Because the constitution told them that this and this, they are there to defend the constitution and defend external problem coming in. What if you break down the constitution now? What do you expect them to do? Fold their hands? That's why I said their mindset, people don't want to recognize it, but this is their mindset. Will they allow it, even if they are compromised?
I think, you know what? Let me just err on the side of caution. I would say there is going to be a decision, one decision at least before. I'm probably not going to be correct, but I'm thinking there should be one decision before election, before the swearing in. One thing.
There's no decision. The only decision I'm expecting is to stop 29. If they hasten that case up for 29, then they can make a judgment on that one. That is the one that I'm particular about, not this one. Because this one itself is going to drag for more than 60 days. So, but the one that the landlord said, those landlords in Abuja, then if that one can be done before 29, that's the only one that can stop it. If it's constitutional.
Oh, no. You mean the one that they want to stop the swearing in? Oh, no.
Yes.
I have a
question. They went to court now.
Nothing is going to stop that one. If anybody can stop the election, it would have stopped one.
Why nothing can stop it? Is it not the court of law?
But the judge wants to have a future.
Did they write in the constitution that said they cannot stop 29? Like sacrosanct. Did they write it there?
From what I don't know too much about how rigid it is in the constitution, but they said, barring anything else, nothing should stop that process. There has to be a president because the current president has to leave. So
that is what they make you and I to know. But you go deep into the constitution, you see what is there, white and black. Don't mind them.
I guess maybe I'm wrong. There are areas where I'm not very strong. I will tell you. I'll raise my hand up. I don't know too much about
a court of competent jurisdiction that's a federal court of competent jurisdiction can act, can say that, can pronounce it. Nobody can hold them down, because when something is not done right, illegality cannot be upheld by the law. It cannot now. Illegality cannot be upheld.
You know what Wike said? Face not the fear face. The illegality of this one. The illegality we are talking here is on the presidential level. Face not the fear face. You want to go and try your luck with this one. Go and stop presidential swearing in.
That is why they don't want to enlighten people on what is entailed. They don't want it, except you go and find it out yourself. That's just the
The
truth.
judge that passed that judgment, he will have an airline waiting for him to take off.
Okay, look at the judgment of
Take off from
Kaduna.
Nigeria.
How can Kaduna have jurisdiction over Emu Abi? Which state is that? Over an Abia? How can that court in Kano have jurisdiction over what they are voted for? And there was nothing there was no problem. And now you not turn the right of you not take away the right of the people from them without no fault. You see, sometimes this judges saying, I don't, some of them didn't go to school, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, but I get a feeling that they're going to pass. I just, man, see, I just get a feeling that it's too reckless. And if they do let it go past, oh my God. I think it's very reckless. Because
there's nothing bad in it.
President. Eh?
Me, look, there's nothing, look, if they said go ahead, there's nothing you can do now if the people cannot revoke.
Okay,
they will go ahead because
if they make a judgment, let's say on Abuja, let's say he went against Tinubu, you know what that does? Even if he's sworn in, his power will be constrained because people will know, okay, until the case is over, this guy technically is not even necessarily.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me tell you what you just said. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If they said if the judge ruled against him now, and the Chief Justice now went ahead, the military boys will strike. That's plain. Finito, QED. They'll strike.
Yeah, that could be a tricky situation. That could be very
they'll strike now because that will lead to lawlessness.
Yeah,
they'll strike now. They will avoid that. They'll strike.
And then okay, you see now, from what you just said, if they think that could happen, maybe that's where Rita may actually be correct, that they may want to hold off until they're ready to make all the decisions. Because just making one decision after the other, because one of the decisions cannot stop him from being sworn in. So they have to wait until he's sworn in. That is odd.
No. If one judge said he cannot hold, they got to go and take a judgment from Supreme Court to stop, or another High Court to stop that judgment because of the position. They will not look at the position of the country. They will not look under one ground. They will not. The judge will not say it cannot. They will not cancel that judgment. He can put judgment at stake now. He will say hold it. He will hold that judgment because that is the way the law is over there. A judge can pronounce something, a judgment, then one other judge from Kafanshan will say, oh, hold it. Don't make that law function. Hold that one till pending. You see, this law, they are very crafty till pending towards when they will finish this latest one between two people. Now they take him to another court, that's the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will now, you know what they can do now? They will just vote. If they cannot get it, if they are in a stalemate, they will vote. And if they vote 3 to, is it not 8 of them? Or 9? 5 to 4. Agbado wins.
Pansad has been very quiet. I don't know whether he's still there because it's unlike him to be. Pansad, are you still there?
I'm a good listener.
That kind of listening scares me.
Pansad is a lion. Don't mind him.
He's just been quiet for too long.
He doesn't want to row now.
You're coming to me, right?
Yeah. Coming to you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. The last issues that were discussed by Black Panther and Rita, and of course the question that you asked that brought that about, it was very important. From the things they raised at the tribunal, the issues that they're raising in the petitions, some of them could or may be resolved before the actual determination who won the election. Some of them being the Abuja issue. I believe they took under submission the issue about transmission. Transmitting the, what was that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
the issue about transmitting the proceedings. Obviously, INEX Council objected to that. His name is Abubakar Mahmood. The tell court say, you know, one made they televise the proceedings. Also, the respondent, second respondent, which is Tinubu, his counsel, Wole Olani Pekon, and of course, the counsel to APC, Latif Fabemi. They don't want Nigerians to see this transmission of a public interest. They disrespectful attempt to steal the people's mandate, and everybody wants to see it. There's nothing wrong with, I mean, courts could say we don't want people, cameramen, press people disrupting a proceeding. Yeah, that's a different decision. The court could say that. But to transmit from the court to the people, that's different. There's nobody going to disrupt you. Other countries, sometimes they have like a 10 seconds delay and they transmit it so people could see. It's from the court to the Nigerian people, to the world. So I think they took that under submission. They're going to make a determination on that. There are various issues. I think there's 2 or 3 issues that they've sat down. Instead of giving the verdict right there, they took it under submission. So hopefully those will come in very soon. So the Abuja one, whatever they do, will know which way they're going. If they feel that you have to win Abuja, as the Constitution requires, hopefully that will come in before that 29th. We'll have our fingers crossed because there's a lot riding on this. They have to do the right thing. But as far as the substantive decision of who won that election, there'll be a lot of, I think Obi is going to call about 50 witnesses. Tinubu is going to call some, and Tiku is going to call some. So that's going to take some time. But the error on the Abuja and several other ones, you know, should stop. That's what I mean. That's how we're going to know if these are patriotic, brave, courageous jurists. Okay? Anybody who's talking about what they're going to do, nobody knows what they're going to do. Nobody knows what they're going to do, but we can all guess at what they're going to do. But we'll start seeing some action from them. But the bottom line, though, is that Tinubu did not win the election. That is not up to them. That is up to Nigerians who saw who won the election. So we'll go through the process, but the bottom line, there are things that's not up to them. There are things that are up to them that they could resolve legally. And I hope they rise to that responsibility. You have any question to Niger for me?
Yeah, yes. The question I was asking everyone was about, because of the way they've adjourned it, personally, I would have thought they would realize how aggravating that could be to the public, because it would seem like they are just trying to, you know, push it to the long grass while Tinubu gets into office. So because of that, I'm thinking there is a good chance they could pass one judgment before the 29th.
Well,
others have said that not likely.
Right, but that's something somebody can play around with. The only thing that's required of them, according to the Western jurisprudence, is that they give a fair hearing to these petitioners and, of course, to the respondents. And it seems like that's happening. They should not be coerced by how the public is going to react. That's true. I agree with that. And they're having a hearing. I hope that they then go in there and look at the law. Look at the law. Look at the Constitution. Look at the evidence. Give these people fair hearing. Go in there. Make the proper decision based on the law. Nothing else. Do the right thing. The whole world is watching us. When you talk about patriotism, if these people go in there and do the, I don't care who wins it at the end. If, as far as they give these people fair hearing, go in there, make the proper decision based on the law. Nothing else. Do the right thing. The whole world is watching us. When you talk about patriotism, if these people go in there and do the, I don't care who wins it at the end. As far as they give these people fair hearing, go in there, right? Follow what's recommended by the courts and the way things are supposed to be resolved. Follow the law. People are going to be proud to be Nigerians just from that act alone. That is how you inculcate patriotism. You don't do it by fiat. You don't command people to love their country. If you go there and do the right thing, render the judgment based on our laws, on that constitution. This is a very simple thing to do. It's a very simple thing to do. Go in there, give the people fair hearing, both the petitioners and the respondents. Go do it according to law, do it timely, and come out there, be courageous, be brave Nigerians, be patriotic, be your separate branch of the government. You have equality with the presidency, with the judiciary. You are with the who makes laws out there? What do you call that branch that makes the laws? Legislature.
Yeah, legislature.
Okay, so you go there and you render sound judgment. If it's Tinubu that won this election, come out with that. If it's Obi, come out with that. If it's Tinubu, come out with that. If you need to cancel the election, do so. According to our constitution, do the right thing. You can't guess what they're gonna do. If they're doing the right thing, they have to let the stuff come in. Have people bring these things. Now, those things that are based on the law, they don't need evidence to make those decisions. If it's based on the law, you just have to look at the constitution and resolve those things fairly. That's all.
Thank you. So I think we are going to round up now. I think we've done more than 1 hour. We're supposed to do 1 hour regarding the topic. Yeah. Yes.
Did they put the 25% upfront?
What do you mean 25%? Are you talking about the Abuja one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's there. It's
is that part of it?
It is.
Now I don't need any evidence now.
Exactly.
That's the one that surprised me. I would have thought they would. You see, that's why I think they may just say, let's just give them this one, so that it looks like we are doing our job. But that said, I think maybe they are considering some of the points you raised, Black Panther, that what if they go and pass a judgment? The people were like, oh my God, this judgment went against Tinubu and we're about to swear him in. That could lead to a lot of confusion. So maybe that's why they are holding back a little bit from, Pastor, good night. And it's Rita that was gone. Okay, I thought you were talking to me. So maybe that's why they are holding back, because that is a one-day judgment. But yet they are holding it back. And I think Rita also made a point that the case hasn't even started. So maybe that too may be the reason why they are holding it back. But I think the process is too long. And I think if they shorten the process, it's going to make the INEC side of things smoother, so that it will be easier to ascertain the truth of whatever happened.
You see what's going to happen now? Let me tell you what's going to happen. This guy is going to be sworn in if the people refuse to fight. Then when he's sworn in, he cannot win the case. There are too many facts on his way that I don't think the lawyers can debunk. And the question they will keep on asking, why is INEC hiding the document? Because the public document doesn't belong to them. It's a public document. And the court should rise up to force them to release it. So I don't know why our judges, they don't give a subpoena for that thing to come up. That's why we're saying the laws are absolute. It's also give a subpoena. Subpoena is supposed to come from somewhere for them to release it. If you don't release it, they will arrest Mahmoud. Simple as ABC. But we don't have such laws. That's where the problem is. When I say it's archaic, people think I'm lying. You cannot hold hostage public document. They are holding hostage public document to the Nigerian people that needs to look, and we have a law of freedom of information that you and I can ask for that document. Where lies where okay, you have a law now. You know, you apply that law, they hold it. You apply this law, they hold it. Then, is it not chaos? Is it not chaos? Because it's a public form, it's a public paper, not yours. So they need to subpoena this or get that guy arrested. Simple as ABC. So it depends on the judge. If you have a crack judge, they will seek for his arrest immediately. They will seek for his arrest immediately. No two ways about it.
Let's see what happens tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be which is today actually. We'll see what happens and where the judgment goes. I hope it goes. I just wanted to pass the judgment. I really don't like the idea of going on. So let's see what goes on. And this stuff is going to be one interesting journey that we're going to embark on. But I would say this to people that believe in P2B: they should await his instructions, because I think there is something P2B is doing that I've hardly seen. I'm not even sure I've seen it in any African country before. It's a new way of approaching politics. This guy is being nationalist without coming across as being this thing confrontational. How do you do that? It's a totally new technique that is applying. You can all see it. You know, look at when Soludo had to go at him, and look at the way he responded to Soludo. He has a way of approaching this.
They are going to beg him. They are going to continue to beg because they don't have a case to. They are going to beg him. I'm telling you the truth. They cannot win the case, no matter what. Even if you bring a dummy, they cannot. It's just there. They cannot. The evidence against them is too bogus. It cannot go now. It's too bogus. So they got to. That's why they are begging him.
They are I think one of the reasons why they are begging, I think some of them are beginning to understand now that it's part of labor, and labor is not. Someone like P2B being part of labor is the worst nightmare of any government. It's literally the worst nightmare of anybody in office, because that kind of thing, if P2B chooses to wield that power, that is a lot of power they can wield through the organization. So, but let's see how everything. And if you look at P2B, wherever he goes, people always treat him almost like he's like a president already in a way. You know, because they know he is the man to be looking out for right now. Any moment, anything can turn.
They know he's going to be. They know he's going to be.
Third, you know, he's a guy that's supposed to have come third in the current result, but yeah, they treat him as if he's the guy that came first or second. So it tells you something is up. Something is up. Let's see the case. Let's see how he's going to end. I really can't wait to see it, and they should really stop dragging their leg. And after the dispensation, they have to change the rules. We can't go through this anymore. It's just ridiculous. Transfer of power shouldn't have to be this difficult. So can I let everybody take 1 minute to give, Nigerians what they would like to see today, and whatever encouragement you want to give, whatever caution you want to give, and just whatever you want to say, just speak your mind. You can even talk about any other topic. Just use 1 minute so that we can close out.
Well, what I would say is that. Oh, sorry.
And
Go ahead.
I think maybe let's treat Pastor like a honorary district member.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
sir.
no. I'm gonna reject that. Let him go.
Pastor go reject.
Let him go,
Pastor
then
na politician now.
Back Pata, go ahead. After you, then I can come in.
Okay. I take that honor. Okay, what I would say is that Nigeria should rise up. The bone of contention now is Nigeria to rise up and stop that 29. That's the only way they can stop it, and that's the only way. If they obstruct it, everybody will rise up and know that the show time has come. Without that, if they allow without that, there's no way, because the constitution has cleared it. And if the case in court that said that the case that want to stop the 29 does not go on well, and they pronounce that no, they can go ahead, then he will be sworn in. But there's one but. If the case continue, there is no way Agbado can win it, even in the Supreme Court, except they said they just want to use one thing. It's not possible, because you got to remove one part of the constitution before it can be possible. Like 25%. Like, did you win 1/3 of 25 states, 24 states? No. So how can you win? How can you say you won? So that's the problem. So it's going to be this is a constitutional matter. It's not a case of who won, who lose. This is going to be a constitutional matter. And if you want to bring down the constitution, then bring it down and let the country go off. And that is what they are going to do. They are going to test the Nigerian people and see what they can do. I know Nigerian judges and Nigerian people, they're going to test Nigerian people. And if Nigerian people do not rise to the occasion, then bye-bye to that country. And I beseech all Nigerians to get up, rise up, and take their fatherland, no matter what it is. Rise up, because if you get scared of what you're going to do today, what you're supposed to do today will wait for you at the end, at the front. You will definitely wait for you at the front. If you don't push them aside today, they will continue to destroy and destroy, because as you see the country, the president coming in, there's no how he will not keep on borrowing. We don't have anything to who come to. He will keep on borrowing, because they cannot factor this thing out. They want to borrow so that they can hold the country hostage. That is what they are doing. So let them continue to borrow, and let's all see how it's going to work out. See, Kaki boys go come in. And they're very sure of that one. Thank you, Mr. Tunanja. Thank you.
Hey, Kaki boys coming. Those ones, they don't rig election. They cancel. Nobody was out. Babangida canceled 3 different elections. He didn't know which one he liked best. He canceled all of them and left the country in chaos. That's the one I remember. If we get military, if we think Jagaban is bad, this is going to get out of control. We don't know anyway. We don't know. You could get a military like that of Egypt that converted to civilian regime very quickly. And that man has performed. You can say whatever you like about him. He has performed for his country. The energy, power supply in his country. They are building new cities. They're building new cities in Egypt. So he's actually outperforming quite the previous president. And Egypt is secure now.
Yes, those guys have done well. They have done well for Egypt. Very, very well. They are transforming the country.
Yeah, he did well for his country so far. Which other thing that did he do again? You don't see terrorist attacks in Egypt anymore. They used to attack all these tourist sites and all that is gone. And the security of that country is solid. You can't cross. If you see all these YouTubers go to Egypt, you see how closely they are monitored. Those people, they really take their security seriously. So yeah, it's not always a bad thing. The thing I don't like about sub-Saharan leaders, when they turn military, they don't want to put their uniform off. They want to keep it forever. This Egyptian head of state, he was military leader for about a year. He changed to civilian very quickly. But ours, they will just stay in uniform for 8 years. They will not go away. And just keep cancelling election after election instead of them to just change to civilian and move on with it. But that's it anyway. Who is next? Patricia, have you got anything to say before we close out? And Mama Hecho and then Pastor will say something. I know, Patricia, you have been listening. Have you got anything to say, just in case? Okay, Patricia is not there. Mama Hecho, are you there? Mama Hecho, are you there? Calling. Mama Hecho is absent. So, Pastor, it's up to you now. Yeah. Pastor, it's up to you now.
Okay,
so,
thank you very much. I won't
sort
keep you
out.
long. I would say it's been a nice discussion. It's a pregnant situation. So we pray that God come in and
I never sleep.
Welcome, Madam Echo.
Okay. Yeah, Mama Echo, what have you got to say? We want to take like a minute to tell Nigerians what to do today and what to how to react.
29 must not hold. How you guys will do it, I don't know. But I know you guys are capable of doing it. So I'm trusting you people to ensure that 29 months not through.
Black
And I
Panther nature
thank
for it.
everybody for putting the time, the energy, and labor of love for our country will never be in vain. It will give us that we are looking for, our mandate, so that we can move forward. We are over 60 years behind. We have to catch up. We have the brain. It is the leadership that is lacking, and we are getting it back now. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, Mama H.O. Thank you very much. Yeah, Pansat. So, yeah, it's up to you now. Close us out. Pansat, are you there? Roger. Pansat. Earth to Pansat. Earth to Pansat. Are you still there? Pansat, what happened to Pansat? Pansat, Mama H.O. just...
I'm right here.
You went to get
All right.
something to cool off or something.
Well spoken, Madam H.O., and good to see you. Like I was saying, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, very good. So, like I was saying, and there's a version of the Star Spangled Banner. I believe this was a version in the 1800s. We say, "Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming?" In that American anthem, it goes on at the last part of it to say, "O thoughts, be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation. Blessed with the victory and peace, may the heaven rescued land praise the power that had made and preserved us a nation." It's important for us to know that we hold at the cusp of this coming week what we're going to have in that part of Africa. We're going to have a country. You can't have a country unless you have men. Let me first thank all young Nigerian men and women who have thus far followed the rules, followed the law, come out, registered, got their PVCs, and voted. Very proud of you. You've done very well. We still have challenges, obviously. We're going through this process right now. This is the end of it. But I am begging you, if things are not right, if they violate the Constitution and trying to impose somebody on us who we do not pick, we can't go for it. We can't. Young men and women, Nigeria, from the north to the south, from east to the west, we're going to watch the process, but we want to make sure that it's constitutional, that is right. This last 2 years, we've put in all the effort. We've done everything. But they keep dancing around. Even the United States, the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, he imposed sanctions, what he calls visa sanctions on individuals. The same week that he made a call to Tinubu, he says that the individuals he put sanctions on were involved in intimidation of voters through threats and physical violence, manipulation of vote results, and what he calls other activity that undermines Nigeria's democratic process. That's what he said, Blinken, in a statement. But the same week he made a call to Tinubu, who at that time was somewhere in Europe, maybe France. So by prima facie, the United States says there was voter intimidation, physical violence, manipulation of vote results. That's what they found out. And so many other Europeans and other Africans who came there, it's a chorus. That is the case. So he went ahead and imposed visa restrictions. That doesn't cure it for us. Good for him, good for them. Somebody has money and power in Nigeria. What do you need the United States for? Why do I want to go to the United States if I have money and power in Nigeria? We have better climate. We have better women. We have better whatever, air. So no, it doesn't cure it. So, but the decision that they did manipulate and they did intimidate, that's all we needed from them. I will want them to testify and do the right thing for a change. Whether they like it or not, this time they have to do the right thing. The United States and Britain, you go from Lumumba to all our great African leaders, they killed a lot of them and they released intelligence 20 or 30 years later and say, hey, we killed this person, we killed that person. The CIA killed this person, they killed that person. We read it and we don't do anything about it. We let them because we're weak. We're weak and we can't fight. But this time, Secretary Blinken says that there was manipulation, intimidation, violence, physical violence. But he didn't cure that particular finding. No, visa restriction. America is a beautiful place. I'm here. I like it. But it's not the cure for the violations. So please, to Nigeria's mantra daily here of not letting Oyibo tell us what to do. This is where it comes in. We'll go through this process. If they reject the Constitution, we have to go to Baba Ahmed. That's who's talking about what we must do. We cannot let an unconstitutional process take place, especially imposing somebody on us who lost an election. So thank you very much to Nigeria for moderating this panel and all the panelists, those who are listening to us on the comment section. And we'll get to see you again soon, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, this in Pansat. We can see, and thank you for all the donations and everything. You know, you have been very supportive of the space. And like I said, you are one of those thin-skinned people. You can have disagreements with people, but you still keep an eye on the prize and on the goal, which is the most important. So I thank you for coming in and sharing with us what you think about
Amsa is
things.
going to be a good politician. Oh.
Pansa, Jesus Christ. Don't get me started.
Okay,
now
thank you.
Talk now.
And thank you and good night. You too, Black Man. Thank you. Good night.
All right, good night all. Let's all sign out. And Niger Watch, hand over to you. When you are ready, you can close out.